Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia on December the 3rd, 2011. It is Saturday afternoon football on LSC, your local sports channel.
And good afternoon, everyone. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe here with the rest of the LSC crew. We are here for state semifinal action between the North Stafford Wolverines and our homestanding Phoebus Phantoms. Well, Paul, we've made it back to the state semifinals again. Yes. This is the Phoebus Phantoms' fourth straight trip to the state semis. They're looking for their fourth straight state championship game today, because winner of this game will travel to Charlottesville next Saturday and play in the state championship game. So there's a look at some of the Wolverine crowd over on the other side of the field as people are still coming into the stadium. We have, some 20 minutes before kickoff, and looking at the individual stats for the season, might be a very interesting contest between these two teams.
Yes, it's going to be a real interesting, Mike. You've got a Phoebus team that has really started to gel in their running game, which has always been a power running game, has really hit its peak at this point. Now, last week they were without Mr. Belfield in the backfield, and Pittman did it all. Today, it's our understanding that Mr. Belfield is back on the field, so Mr. Pittman is not going to have to shoulder the entire load. Doesn't mean he won't.
Right. He had 43 rushes last week. That's a lot of times to rush the ball in the game. But
he won't have to. But the two teams themselves, Mike, you're looking at a Phoebus team that's ripping off 31 points per game. North Stafford is going at 36. So that's pretty close. You're talking about one score there difference between the two. Rushing-wise, of course, Phoebus relies on rushing, 202 yards per game. North Stafford, 185. So, again, pretty close there. Here's the big difference. Phoebus, we know they're not a passing team. They still get about 83 per game. But North Stafford, 123, and they've got a young quarterback, Austin Grebe. I say young. He's young to me. He's a senior. 6 foot, 195 pounds, got a sharp pass. We saw him throwing prior to the game here, Mike. Got a good arm, throws a bullet pass. He's the one that's going to have to control this game for North Stafford to do anything. But you're right, statistically on offense, these teams are very, very, very close.
Well, Stafford's been a little bit more balanced during the season.
Yes.
With the pass and the rush versus Phoebus been predominantly rushing. But you go, let's send it down to the sideline with Brent Musgrove as he's got a special guest.
North Stafford Wolverines. And Coach, just to give them a little background, you've been coaching 15 years, 4 of it in college and through several different high schools. You had a little health problem. And now you took over Stafford in 2008. They had a couple of records that were 2-8, stuff like that. And here we are. You're in your third year, going into your fourth, and you've already got them into the playoffs, this deep into the playoffs. What do you attribute that to? Hard work and changing some things? What?
Having a sound philosophy. We as the coaches and players are all kind of on board with everything. Having a strong coaching staff that buys into what we do and just a strong commitment year-round.
Well, I was going over some of your stats. You got a tremendous offense, and your defense is in there fighting to give up a few yards. But I'm going to talk about a few of your players, some impressive people you got. I want to talk about your quarterback, Grebe. This guy's got quite a pedigree.
Yep, he's a 4.2 GPA. He's president of National Honor Society. He is our quarterback or kicker or punter. He's thrown for 1,500 yards or so, about 20 touchdowns, and he's run for about 7. He's just one of those blue-collar, gritty kids and just a great all-around person.
So is he the leader on the team all the way around?
He and A.J. Sly, our middle linebacker, probably the two guys I would say that they're the leaders. You know, A.J. the defense and Austin the offense, most definitely.
I'll get back to A.J. I want to talk about your running back. Now, this gentleman's run for over 1,200 yards. His name's Daniels, another senior. A lot of your offense seems to come from that quarterback and that running back position.
Yeah, I mean, we try to have a balance, and Kevin does a nice job of running the plays we want to run. He runs inside, outside. He's not the biggest kid. He's certainly not as big or the running backs they have here, but he runs well, runs hard, runs the offense the way we need him to run it, and he's another one of those high-character kids that we have in our program.
Well, now let's get a little bit of defense. This linebacker, young man, you mentioned a little guy, Slide. Is he the center of your defense?
AJ is the backbone of our defense. He's all-region linebacker. He's 5'8", if he's lucky, 185 pounds. He's tough as nails. He's smart. He's a 4.1 GPA kid. And he's just one of those kids that loves football and will do anything for his program and has just been dedicated for us for the past 4 years.
Awesome. I want to give you one last question. We don't get to see much of your football up there. How do you compare Phoebus to the teams you play up there? And what do you see you've got to do to keep this game in control?
Right. You know, we've played against Battlefield High School Division 6 state champions. A lot of similarities in terms of having a philosophy. I mean, when you watch Battlefield and film we play against Battlefield, they play good defense, they run the football, and they have a sound philosophy. When you watch Phoebus on film, it's the same thing. They have a strong defense, they run the ball well, and they have a sound philosophy. They don't deviate from it, and they do what they do really well, and they stick to it. And you can kind of see it on film, and there's a reason why they've won all these state championships.
And so your control is score more points.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we need to do. But you know, their defense is pretty darn tough. So we get opportunities, we got to make the most of them. We can't let opportunities slip through our hands, especially inside the 20, inside the 10.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for all the help you've given our TV station and me this week. It's made it so much easier, and I look forward to seeing you back in this box again. Thanks again, Coach. All right, guys, I'm going to send it back up to you.
Good job down there, Brent. Excellent job as usual. North Stafford comes in here with the same overall record as the Phoebus Phantoms, 11-2. And both teams, I believe this is the first time that North Stafford has been this far in quite some time. Last couple years, last year they were 5-5. I believe the year before that they were 1-9. So they have struggled the last few years. They've turned it around this year, and we expect this to be a pretty good game today. So we'll send it down to the sideline now while the Phoebus Phantoms will be playing the national anthem.
First of all, did you ever envision when you took the job that at this point in your career that you would only have 2 losses?
No, I got really more than 2 losses, but no, I didn't. That's just a big testimony to how the athletes that we have here at Phoebus, coaching staff. I would love to sit here and say it was my doing, but it's a big pot of everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing, from the kids to the coaches. And I just am fortunately to have my name as head coach and get the pats on the back. But it's all those other guys with their hard work.
Well, somebody's got to lead them, and you're doing a good job with it. We want to talk a little bit about Anthony Pittman. 75% of the time he had the ball last week. You had no idea that he had run that many times?
I did not know until after the game. One of the reporters came up and said, "Hey, Pittman had 42 carries." I looked at him like he was crazy. You know, hey, if he can do it, he can do it. That's fine, but I don't want to get in the habit of doing that. We've had some great running backs in the past that have gone in the upper 30s. I think Womack and Elon both cracked the 40 mark, but I don't think anybody has gotten over 40 carries. But, hey, it worked for us last week, so.
Well, let me tell that story about him in practice. I just think that's awesome.
Well, you know, one of the things we always do is try to instill in the tailbacks or the running backs in general, when they carry the ball, it's not so much just to run through the hole and get things to pick, you know, and stop after 5 or 6 yards. We talk about finish the run. And Pittman will go through the hole, get through the roll, and he'll sprint 40 yards down the field to the end zone, and then he'll sprint back to the huddle for the next play. And I think that has a lot to do with his conditioning, being able to carry the ball so much, because every time he runs the ball, it's a conditioning process for him.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of your coaches. Let's start off with Coach Shield.
TJ has done a great job with the defensive line and helping me with the offensive line. Fabulous job. He's worked hard. He was an apprentice under Coach Day for years, and now when Coach Day retired, you know, he stepped up and has done a fabulous job with some young defensive linemen.
All right. How about Van Dyke? The guy's been around a while.
Dickey's seems like been around forever. Dickey's done a great job. You know, he's well known throughout the area working with the kickers. He does the special teams for me and does a fabulous job. No one is more organized than Dickey. I mean, Dickey's just organized, drives me crazy sometimes how organized he is. But he does a great job, and I tell you what, I don't see our program being any like we are without Dickey.
All right, let's talk about James Holbert. Really stepped up, hasn't he?
Yeah, Coach Holbert's done a great job. You know, he came to us back, I believe, in 2000 from Woodside, and he's worked with the running backs and linebackers ever since then. He's done this year, taking over for Greg Narvid, who retired also this year, and in the defensive secondary. So he's done a fabulous job, and I'm just as tickled to death to have those guys. And these guys are pretty much all, like we talked about earlier, just just keep plugging away.
Right. Well, we talked about, and I also want to talk about Coach Alonso.
Yeah, Coach Coley, my offensive coordinator. I mean, we can't forget about him. Alonso's done a fabulous job coordinating the offense. You know, we always joke, you never can make the right call. You know, and that's the thing. That's the territory you get with being an offensive coordinator. It's never going to be the right call. You know, everybody's the armchair quarterback and knows, but he knows our offense. He knows our kids. He knows our personnel really, really well, and he knows what our kids are capable of doing. And, you know, he's good at letting it just slide off his back. You know, I know sometimes, you know, fans can get pretty down on those guys, but you know what? He does a great job and works hard at it.
All right, we want to finish this up. This is the last question. I know this team reminds you a little bit of IC Norcom and Lake Taylor, but what do you look for North Stafford today, Coach?
Well, I'm looking for a very disciplined, physical football team. They play a smash mouth type of football, very similar to us. Defensively, you know, they're a bend but don't break. You know, they have given up points, but, you know, they score a lot of points too. So we got to come out and we got to be focused in all aspects of the game. I know last week they had a punt return for a touchdown, so they're solid on special teams. And, you know, we just got to come out and be good and play Phoebus Phantom football in all three phases of the game.
Well, good luck to you, Coach, and congratulations on a fine season so far.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hope we can do one more week.
There you go. All right, let's go back up to the booth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the referees for today's game. Ron Brand, the referee. Cliff Callender, the umpire. Dave McKee, the lineman. Randy Sprouse, the line judge. Greg Stover, the back judge. Mike Vernador, the field judge, and the side judge, Troy Tanner. Those are the refs for the game. And by the way, for those of you that don't know that, they're the guys in the striped shirts. Mike, is that correct?
Yeah, those are from the northern region, I believe, and they are here. Let's send it back down the side where Bob and Brent will take us home to the game. Let's see what they have to say.
Thanks, guys. Bob, here we are in Division 5 semifinal playoffs with a team we haven't seen before. Now, you've been doing this about 80 years. I'm surprised you haven't seen them around. This is about my 5th year with you. But the two teams match up pretty well if you put them on paper.
Well, they really do, Tim. There you go. That's taking me back. Brent, we looked at some of the film. I looked at some of the film and watched what they do. They're very similar to Lake Taylor and to IC Norcom, but the coaches told me they think this team would have a hard time beating either one of those two teams.
Well, I didn't realize that because when I started going over the stats, the only thing that really jumped out at me was the difference in the sizes of the offensive, defensive line. I'll leave that to you. But what I did notice is, as I talked to the coach a few minutes ago, they're only starting 5 seniors in 22 positions, 10 juniors and 7 sophomores. So he's building toward the future, and in 3 years he's come a long way from a team in 2 years that was 4-16 to 10-2.
Well, I like what he said. He, wants to mirror his program after Phoebus. That's not a bad person to look at. But they have 3 down linemen is what they use. But these 3 down linemen also play on the other side of the ball, from defense to offense, and one of them is a tight end. But they'll run just similar to what IC Norcom did, in that they're not going to get under center. They're going to snap the ball, and you have seen, have talked with the coach, and you know what they're capable of doing.
Well, what really struck me as interesting was their quarterback is like a thrown for over 1,500 yards, but he's run for 7 TDs. But the key to him is he's also their kicker, and he's completing over 70%. And that's what he's going to be getting a scholarship for going to college, is for kicking. So that changes the scenario from last week with Norcom. The other thing that I found very interesting is their fullback is 6 foot, 225 pounds. This is their 12th game, and he is yet to carry the ball.
He doesn't get a touch.
He doesn't get a touch. He's a blocker. He leads in for the running back, Daniels, who's got almost 1,300 yards. And so when you start wearing these things out, you hit it right on the head as far as I'm concerned. They're a married. They want to run it, but they got a quarterback and throw it just like Phoebus.
Right. Now, I was looking over at Phoebus, and I talked to Boombox this week and asked him what happened to his hand the other night. He had to come out, dislocated the ring finger. They popped it back in. He went right back in and started making tackles. It just amazes me. And then, of course, I talked to Coach about this Tony Pittman, and what a horse this guy is to carry the ball that many times. But they're going to have to be on their game. When you get to this point in the season, everybody's good. And I'm talking really good. So they're going to have to be on their best game.
Very few get here by mistake. And I'm going to sum it up, my side, and leave it to you to finish it up by saying I think the difference is going to come down in the size of the lines and the running backs and how much both teams can absorb punishment. And I think Phoebus, over the years, with their experience, has proved that they can deal it out pretty good.
Well, I'm going to go back again to the line, the offensive line and the defensive line of scrimmage. You've got to control that if you're going to win this ball game. Now, Pittman, we saw last week against IC Norcom, which is a fast team. They're not slow. They're team speed very good. And he broke a couple of real long ones. And that's the only time he come out. And then he come out skipping. So, I'm thinking like a little kid. He's just happy to be here. But, this is going to be a game that's going to come down to who's going to control the trenches. And just to wrap this thing up before we go to the sponsors, last week you said kicking game. Both teams have got good kickers this year. In fact, didn't you mention both of them are going to scholarship on kicking? So, we're going to have to come down to who's going to make the fewest mistakes.
And that's it. So once you take it home.
All right, well, that was it. We're going to turn it over to our sponsors.
Today's game is sponsored by the Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queens Way in Hampton. Enjoy the wide selection of breakfast and lunch dishes sure to please your appetite. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook, the restaurant that's also a bakery. Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads, between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. Who will represent you? Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after the game. Call 723-6850 today to place your order. Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Sponsored in part by attorneys at Kaufman and Knowles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center and in Newport News at City Center. Kaufman and Knowles. We can and we will. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armistead Avenue. The funeral director is Vernon Kruger. Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out. Eric Thompson Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3172 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com.
All right, as the coin flip has already taken place, the Phoebus Phantoms won to toss, deferred to the second half, and they will kick off to North Stafford here to begin the game here. First quarter action here at Darling Stadium. We assume at this point in time that the kicker for the Phantoms will be number 4, Eric Anderson. He'll kick off then. I guess his pulled hamstring seems to be doing well now, and it looks like he's going to do some kicking too, also with the extra points and stuff. I know he was doing a lot of practice on the field goals. And I hope you folks can hear us because all we hear is the announcer.
Yeah, this is
he's coming over our loud speaker, and I can't even hear you hardly talk at all.
And IU, but yeah, Anderson may do a little bit of kicking today. I think we're still going to see Kremp as he does the kicking, Dylan Kremp.
He'll
but
probably
certainly
kick the
we're
extra
probably going
points.
to see Anderson.
Looks like for the Wolverines back here, number 1 is Brandon Ravenny, and I believe it's number 8, Devontae Purvis.
Number 1 is Ravenel.
Brandon Ravenel. And, we apologize for some of the punctuation of the names for the North Stafford team. We'll try to get them straightened out as we go.
I've got
first time we've seen them.
Yeah, I've got a few of them here, and I'm trying to remember how they're supposed to be pronounced. But
Henderson's end-over-end kick all the way down to about the 2. And he's running right straight up the middle, and it breaks a couple of tackles, and that's number 8, Purvis. He will carry the ball all the way outside the 44, near the 45, where he is forced out of bounds by the Phantoms right there.
And I believe that was number 9, Mike, rather than number 8. For Stafford on offense, center Nathan Camden, number 76. The guard, number 72, Nathan Williams. The other guard, number 74, Tom Vukovic. The tackles, number 71, Justin Fields, and number 73, Cody Farrell. The tight end, number 83, Gary Nelson. The split end, number 1, Brandon Ravenel. And the wide receiver, number 14, Anthony Shogog. The fullback, number 33, Darnell Parker. The running back, number 4, Kevin Daniels. And the quarterback, number 5, Austin Grebe.
Grebe handing off to the tailback on the play, Kevin Daniels. He will pick up near 5. Looks like they're going to mark it at midfield. That'll be a 6-yard gain for the Wolverines. That'll be a second down and 4.
For the Phantoms on defense, the tackles, number 70, Harry Lewis, and number 66, Jamar Jackson. The ends, number 10, Miles Givers, and number 74, Mark Wilson. The linebackers, number 7, Justin Lyles, number 51, Matthew Jenkins, number 11, Isaiah Jones-Clark, and number 27, Giovander Featherson. The cornerbacks, number 2, Deshaun Summers, number 15, Tyler Adams, and number 9, the safety, Devon Robinson.
Grebe will drop back to pass, a slant pass. It's completed near the first down marker to the Wolverines, number 14 on the play, and that's Anthony Shogog.
And Shogog made a nice move to get that pass, Mike. He went out, kind of did a little turn back, was covered real well. Well, we'll see it on the replay right here.
And of about 4.5 yards, that'll be good for the first down.
Shogog had to actually come back to get that pass because he was covered by Phoebus on that. It was a good move on Shogog's part in order to get that one.
First and 10, ball sits just shy of the Phantoms' 45-yard line here at the beginning of the first quarter of play. No score. State semifinal action here, Division 5. There is a flag down in the backfield as the ball was handed off to number 4 on the play, Kevin Daniels. Looks like there might be a hold call here. Let's see what the official has to say.
Well, actually, we're not going to hear what the official has to say, Mike.
Well, we saw it. He gave us a signal. You go ahead and tell us why we're not going to hear it.
Well, according to the referees prior to the game, they are not mic'd today due to Virginia high school regulation, which says that they don't have to be or can't be mic'd, we're not sure which, during this game. So we will interpret the penalties for you. Of course, we're not going to actually interpret it. We're just going to tell you what they are. You can see what they are.
10-yard penalty will bring it back to the just shy of the Wolverines' 45-yard line. So it'll be first and 20 now after the penalty. Officials on the near side here call timeout for, looks like, a problem with somebody's equipment. This crew is from the northern region. First down and 20 now for the Wolverines. Grebe is in the shotgun. You'll see that pretty much all day long while they're in the offense. Grebe back to pass, completed. Oh, it's a nice catch that time by number 14 on the play, and that's Shogog. As he went over top of the Phoebus Phantom player to make the play. I believe on the stop was number 26, Malek Hawkins.
Shogog, one of the primary receivers. He's caught about 23 passes for 347 yards. They do go to Ravenel quite a bit.
Gain of 10 on the play, second down and 10 now. The ball sits at the Phantom 45. And off to number 4 as he slips and falls down near the line of scrimmage. That's Kevin Daniels. He falls forward for about 2. That'll bring up third down and 8 for North Stafford.
Right now, North Stafford mixing things up, making Phoebus guess what they're going to do, and their defense is having to move back and forth, in and out, up and back. and they're kind of right now, to me, look a little bit like they're back on their heels. Not sure what's going to happen here.
A 3rd down and 8. It's a passing down. Again, Greavy's in the shotgun. 2 wide outs, one on either side. It's a draw play to number 4 right up the middle, and he slips and falls near the line of scrimmage, as that's again number 4, Daniels. He will pick up about a yard on a play, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7.
Phantom's got a break on that one, Mike, because in my humble opinion, as we watch this replay here, if he had not slipped, he had open territory at least to the 1st down marker. Once he made that cut to the left, he would have been hustling.
He almost looks like he was sliding before he made the cut, but Greavy punched the ball. He's also their kicker, by the way. Gets a North Stafford bounce all the way down inside the 5, down to near the 4-yard line. So the Phoebus Phantoms will take over with their first offensive series here deep in the hole at about their own 5-yard line.
Talk about pinning a team down. Phoebus Phantoms are going to go on offense from about their own 4-yard line, and here's the way they'll line up. The left tackle, number 66, Jamal Jackson. The left guard, number 62, Rakeemus Jackson. The center, number 51, Matthew Jenkins. The right guard, number 78, Walt Brantley. And the right tackle, number 74, Mark Wilson. On the tight end, number 7, Justin Boombox Lyles. The split end, number 27, Giovantes Featherston. And the flanker, number 84, Ramon DeLoach. In the backfield, the quarterback, number 4, Eric Anderson. The fullback, number 30, Brandon Vinson. And the halfback, number 5, Anthony Pittman.
And here's Pittman right up the middle. Nice hit there as he dove over the middle. He will get outside the 5 to about the 7. He'll pick up about 3 on the play.
And here's the Wolverines defense. The nose guard, number 73, Corey Farrell. The tackles, number 65, Osiris Black and Eric Samansky. The linebackers, number 10, Joey Sly. Number 8, Devontae Purvis. Number 6, Andrew Sly. Number 31, Nakia Thomas. The cornerback, number 1, Brandon Ravenel. Number 9, Cedric Watkins. The safeties, number 14, Anthony Shagog. And number 22, Tyler Bally. Or Bally, we're not sure which there.
Pittman off the left side, big hole, breaks a tackle outside the 20, outside the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Nice pickup for the Phoebus Phantoms and Mr. Pittman all the way down to the 28-yard line. And a Phantoms first down. Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, have we talked to you about this young man, number 5, Tony Pittman, before? I don't think we really have to. He says it all right here. He twists, he turns, he hits, he runs. The man gains yardage. This is Phoebus's new feature running back as far as I'm concerned. You ride his shoulders, you win the games.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. To the near side is DeLoach. Anderson under center. Hands the ball off to Pittman again over the right side, out of bounds near the 35-yard line, and pick up maybe a 7 on the play. Let's see where they mark it. They'll mark it at about the 34, a gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for the Phantoms.
I'll guarantee you Pittman will go right back in that huddle, hoping he's going to get the ball again and just keep on going. But it looks like he's coming to the sideline, and he runs all the way. He doesn't walk.
It looks like we will now get to see Mr. Belfield. He was out all of last game for an injury, so he got to sit and relax, and now he's back in the thick of things. And here comes Belfield to the near side. Not a lot there as he gets maybe 2 out to the 36-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Phantoms.
And he had to fight for that too. I'll tell you what, he got hit right there close to the line and just kept pumping those legs as we watched the replay. He'll get the pitch here from Anderson. He'll follow his lead block. Right here he gets hit. Now he keeps driving the legs. There's 1 yard. Driving. Another. He gets probably 3 more yards after he gets hit. There's a guy with 970 yards, like you said, Mike, that was out last game.
3rd down and 1 for the Phantoms at their own 37-yard line. Anderson barks the snaps, hands the ball off to Belfield. The same play to the near side, breaks a couple of tackles, and is pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line by the Wolverines, number 14, Anthony Shagog. Nice pickup on the play and another Phantom first down.
There he is, Mr. Belfield, Mr. Outside. He hits the edge. Boom, there he goes, off to the races. If he'd have got by that young man right there, I don't think anybody would have been able to stop him.
No, there was nobody behind him. 1st and 10 with the ball sitting at North Stafford's 40-yard line in the I formation. Pittman back in the lineup now for the Phantoms. Deloach wide to the right. And the ball off to Pittman to the right side. He breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. He's inside the 20, down near the 15-yard line, and another Phantom first down.
I just love to watch
How many
this
tackles
young
did he
kid.
break that time?
Oh, man. That young boy right there, sir, keep your eyes on Mr. Pittman. Watch this. Stafford thinks they got him right there. There's 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. It took 5 people to get him down finally. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Phantoms on their opening drive here. The state semifinal contest for the Division V state championships. And here goes Pittman. Oh, look at the hole he got through on that one. A nice lead block, too.
Did you see that block, Mike?
Malik Hawkins, the fullback today, and good job there. Down inside the 10 to about the 8. About an 8-yard gain for the Phantoms. Pittman comes out now. Belfield back in. Watch this hole.
Keep talking about the line.
Boom, look at that block.
Look at number 26. He just puts the block on that man and takes him out of the whole picture.
Watch Belfield this time go to the right. Let's see what he does.
He'll go to the left.
Right straight up the middle. Jumps over a tackle. Still works his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. That'll be good for a 1st and goal for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Oh, this brings back lots of memories. The state semis, the Phoebus football, the grind it out, the watch me, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Oh, Phoebus is just something. This is so much fun to watch them run the ball. Their blocking is just far superior than most teams that we see all year long and even in the playoffs, Mike. And they give those running backs plenty of room to run.
I dare say North Stafford hadn't seen anybody like this this Phoebus Phantom team this year.
No, not with the 1-2 punch they have in Belfield and Pittman. And
here's Belfield again, right straight up the middle. Nice tackle on the play that time by, I believe it was number 13 on the play. No, 73 on the play. That's Cody Farrell for the Wolverines inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. 2nd down and goal for the Phantoms.
Phoebus looking for a little misdirection on this one, trying to come back, cut back across the grain. Got him about a yard.
Belfield comes out and Mr. Pittman back in. I dare say this one's going to go to Pittman.
What do you think?
Off the left side this time.
It doesn't matter. He'll just put his shoulders down and run over everybody. They've got everybody in the box, too.
The left side, and good tackle that time by North Stafford. Looked like it was number 31 on the play that time as he led the charge. That's Thomas. He'll get back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 3rd down and goal now from the 3.
That was a great defensive stand by the North Stafford Wolverines, Mike, on that play. They loaded the box up, and they just basically stood up and blocked every gap there and just collapsed the Phoebus blockers. And here they are again. Look at that. It is totally stacked in the middle.
Pittman to the near side. He will score as he goes through the North Stafford defensive player. Touchdown, Phantoms. As they lead the game now 6-0 with 2:49 to go here in the first quarter of play.
And you know the Phoebus coaches were responsible for that one, Mike. They saw that first play where Pittman went up the middle and everybody was in the box. This time, they just take it to the outside. Look at the lead blocks out there again. Look at them.
That was Boom Boom, number 7, Lyles, and also number 26, Malik Hawkins leading the way for Pittman as he goes in from 3 yards out and scores. Kicking the extra point now is Dylan Crimp.
Dylan Crimp.
Snap's good. The kick is up long enough, and it's through the middle. So with 2:49 to go in the first quarter play, a nice 96-yard drive by the Phoebus Phantoms, and it is 7-0 Phoebus.
And Mike, that drive, It was 96 yards. They covered it using 11 plays in 5 minutes and 14 seconds, culminating with a 4-yard touchdown run by Mr. Tony Pittman that we're looking at right there.
What an opening drive by the Phantoms.
Beautiful ground shot. Look at it, and the last man, look what Tony does. It's like, boom, here I am, baby. December the 3rd, 2011, Darling Stadium. This is LSC bringing you the state semifinals, where Phoebus is ahead of North Stafford by a score of 7-0. Pittman, during that drive, this doesn't surprise anybody, 7 carries, 65 yards. But Belfield, 4 carries, 31 yards. 96 yards on the ground.
No passing in the entire play.
No passing at all. And if I'm not mistaken, North Stafford usually only gives up 157 rushing yards per game. That's their average on defense. They're pretty close to that on the first drive.
Ravenel and Watkins now back deep for the kick. A little pooch kick to the near side, taken right at the 23-yard line. I believe that's number 24 on the play, Kevin Jackson. And he will bring the ball back to around the 30. Much better field position as far as Phoebus is concerned compared to the first one, like about 15 yards difference. So North Stafford starts off their second drive of the game here at their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
Watch this kick. Now, most people would think, what in the devil are you doing this on your first kickoff or second kickoff? But like Mike just said, folks, on the first kickoff, they got back to about the 40-some yard line. Now they're starting from the 30. They respect the speed that North Stafford has.
Daniels on the handoff around the left side, brought right down at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Number 66 for the Phoebus Phantoms, Jamar Jackson, broke right through there and got his hand on the runner and was able to pull him back and get him down. Great
Give him about a
defensive play.
Give him about a half a yard gain on the play. 2nd down and a long 9.
See if you can see number 66 come through here. Jackson, there he is right there. Watch him, reaches out and grabs him, pulls him back. Boom. Down he goes.
2nd down and long now for the Wolverines. Greeby again in the shotgun. 2 wide outs, one on either side. Flag thrown in the middle of the field there. It's probably somebody on North Stafford moving. Let's see what the official has to say about this.
Or let's look at what he's motioning.
Procedure call against the offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll make it 2nd down and about 14 as the ball's just shy or just outside of the 25-yard line.
And there's the young man for the Phoebus Phantoms. It helps them move the ball down the field. Eric Anderson sitting on the bench at the sidelines, contemplating how he's going to get them back down there into the end zone one more time when he gets in.
Greeby again in shotgun. Same offensive lineup that they have as a draw play to Daniels, right straight up the middle. Good yardage outside the 30, and he stopped right there. And it looks like the Phantoms actually took the ball away from him. But I don't think they're going to give it to him.
Now they're going to say he was down. But
he gets the ball all the way to the 33-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7. Let's watch this.
You decide this one, folks. Take a look here. Let's see how this pans out. There's the grab of the ball. Down. He's down. He's down. He's down. He's down. Great replay shot, guys, down in the truck. That solved that problem right there.
3rd down and
excellent
3rd and long 7 now for North Stafford. Looks like somebody moved on the play.
It appears that somebody on Phoebus's side moved, but we'll see.
Offside against the Phantoms. It's 5-yard penalty. Ball sits now at the 38-yard line. It's now 3rd down and 2.
You are watching LSC, channel 48 on Cox and channel 23 on Verizon Fios.
We have another draw play to Daniels here. Play right up the middle. Plenty of yards there as he's going to pick up about 7. out to the 45 and a first down for North Stafford.
And Mike, right now, on the first drive and on this drive, I've been impressed with North Stafford Wolverines and with this number 4, the running back Daniels, in the yardage they're able to get. They're getting some good blocks and opening up the holes on the left-hand side of the Phantoms defense there. And we'll have to see how the coaches decide to take care of that.
First and 10 now. Ball sits at the 45-yard line. Greavy again in the shotgun. 3 wide out there. Greavy will carry the ball after a bad snap, and he will be tackled at the line of scrimmage. The ball comes loose, but the officials are calling it dead right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we come to the end of the first quarter play. So at the end of the quarter, the Phoebus Phantoms lead North Stafford Wolverines by a score of 7-0.
And down on the sideline, I understand Bob has a little bit of an interview here for us. Bob?
All right, thanks, guys. I've got Gary Moore here, former Bethel Bruin and a sports agent. And a lot of people don't realize, but you were up in the booth doing stats for us at one time.
Absolutely. I remember those days, man. Up here watching it and had that big computer, and we used to keep up with stats all the time. But it's great coming back and seeing the kids doing some of the same things and achieving some of the goals and aspirations that they had, you know, way back in the day.
Well, I know that you've handled a lot of different sports as being a sports agent. You see a lot of great athletes from this 757 area.
You know what? It's really phenomenal, the number of professional athletes from this area. And it makes me very, very proud when I go different places all across the country and people talk about Virginia. They get excited when they hear I'm from Virginia.
I hear that. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back up to the booth.
All right, thank you, Bob. And ladies and gentlemen, the second quarter of today's game is sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buck Road Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out. Also by Grey Goose Restaurant on West Queensway in Hampton, Rico's Pizza on West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center, and Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead and Interstate 64.
All right, second down and 10. Ball sits at the Wolverines 45-yard line. Greavy again in the shotgun. Comes back. There's a pass by Greavy. The ball is almost intercepted by Deshaun Summers as the ball was a little bit thrown outside and out away from the target. That was Revenall.
And I'd be careful throwing in Summers' direction. We've seen him in action several times this year. Very tight defender out there is Summers. He'll get to that ball quickly, knock it away, pick it off. He's just really tight. So keep your eye on number 2, the cornerback, Deshaun Summers.
Down at 10. Back to throw over the middle. And it's a nice catch all the way down to the 35-yard line.
That was number 83, the tight end, Gary Nelson for Stafford, that caught that ball. And Mike, the pass is just a beautiful pass by Greavy. He just fires that thing right in there.
Good play down inside the 35 near the 34. First and 10 for North Stafford. Two wide outs. Again in the shotgun, Greavy. Hands the ball off to Daniels right straight up the middle. He'll pick up near 5 yards. See where they mark it. Pick up 4 as they mark it at the 31-yard line. Stopped by the whole front end or front line of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Phoebus Phantoms, as we again look at Anderson, along with, I believe that is Dylan Krimp, number 52. Phoebus is going to have to do something about this side here because they continue to run and pick up yardage on that side.
Second down and 6. Angles again up the middle. Boom! He's hit right at the 30-yard line as he gets inside the 30 to the 29. He'll pick up maybe 2 on the play. And boy, was he met by, who was it?
Looked like number 26 for the Phoebus Phantoms. Let's see the replay here. We'll verify that, make sure it was Malik Hawkins. Boom. Nice, very nice tackle.
Hawkins on the stop as he met him right there after a gain of about 1.5 yards. 3rd down and about 5 now for North Stafford. Watch the pass play here. Greavy back to throw. Wide open over the middle. There is a flag on the play. It's thrown near where the ball was caught by the deep official way over near the 10-yard line. Let's see what the penalty is going to be, but it was a completed pass all the way down inside the 15.
A good reception, but again, the tight end number 83, Gary Nelson. He ran a very good pattern, just a simple slant across the field. He was wide open right in the middle of the zone.
The holding call against the Phantoms will probably be declined.
Take the ball right where it is, he said.
Division 1 semifinal between Sussex Central and Clintwood at the end of the first quarter of play.
Well, the holding penalty declined by North Stafford. They'll take the results of the play.
1st and 10 with the for the Wolverines at the 13-yard line. Mark it at the 12-yard line. Nice drive that North Stafford has going here.
Time for the Phoebus defense to step up, put some pressure on the quarterback.
Handoff on end around by the Wolverines. Touchdown, North Stafford. Anthony Shagog as he goes 12 yards for the touchdown.
That was just a simple wide receiver coming back as we watch it here. He just comes across, takes the ball, follows the lead block, walks
goes
right
in
into the end
untouched.
zone.
So Greavy in now to
Look
kick
at
the
that
extra
hold.
points.
Great hold. Only one person was able to get a hand on him, and he had a blocker right on him, so he couldn't get any momentum to do anything.
It is up, and it's good. So at the 9:39 mark of the second quarter, North Stafford has come back and knotted this game all up at 7 apiece.
On that drive, 70 yards, consisting of 10 plays, taking 5 minutes and culminating in a 12-yard run by Shagog for the touchdown. It is December the 3rd, 2011. You are watching LSC, Cox Channel 48, Verizon Channel 23, as we watch Shagog just waltz right into the end zone with one good block, another blocker out in front, and no Phantom defender in a position to make a stop at all on that. But it's like two boxers, Mike. Phoebus took it right down the field, boom, scored. After North Stafford got their heads together on their first drive, they on the second drive did the same thing. Right down the field, they mixed it up. As you and I talked about earlier today, Stafford is more of a balanced offensive team. A little bit of run, a little bit of pass, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass. It's very tough for the defense to defend against a guy who throws as well as Greavy does, and yet be prepared for a strong runner like Stafford has in Kevin Daniels. So it's going to be a very good game. It's going to boil down to, like the guy said earlier, it's going to boil down to the trenches, and it's going to boil down to defense.
Adams, Lyles, and Featherston deep for the Phantoms. Greavy to kick off now for North Stafford. As we have a tied score, 7-7 here at Darlin Stadium. End over end kick to the near side, and it is kicked into the end zone. So the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very happy and glad to be bringing you this game today. Make sure that you watch it again and again and again. You can see this on Sunday, December the 4th at 7 p.m. That's tonight, or if you're watching it Sunday, it's tonight. Or Monday, December the 5th at 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. Tuesday, December 6th at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And Thursday, December the 8th at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And because we are a sports channel bringing you sports 24/7, you may see this years from now.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Phantoms at the 20-yard line. Anderson in the shotgun. There's a handoff to Pittman over the right side. He's going to pick up a couple of yards and get near the 22 where he's tackled out there by the North Stafford Wolverines. Gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
That was kind of an interesting run by Pittman that time. Usually he's just right up into the holes. This time he kind of took it around to the side and went a long way horizontal rather than vertical. Seven to 7 at Darling Stadium, December 3rd, 2011.
Anderson now under center. There's Pittman coming to the near side, cuts it back up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles and gets outside the 25 to near the 27-yard line.
Young man just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting to get that yardage.
Not sure why they stopped the clock, but all right, there's a flag down, that's why. Holding against the Phantoms, and that's going to hurt them. That will move them back 10 yards.
As we watch that replay, that will have to
10
come
yards
back
from the spot of the foul, too. That makes it even worse.
Oh, while we've got a second here, Mike, offensively for North Stafford, after that last touchdown, Grebe now 4 for 5 for 48 yards, and Daniels 8 carries, 28 yards. That's basically in the first quarter and part of the second quarter.
Phantoms were pushed all the way back to their own 11-yard line. So it's going to be about 2nd and 19 now for the Phantoms. Henderson back in the shotgun. He drops back to throw. The pass over the middle, and it's completed, I believe, is it to Featherstone?
Yes, it is.
It is all the way outside the 25 to the 26-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4, and a nice play that time by the Phoebus Phantoms.
Number 27, Giovantes Featherson, wide open, just runs out and kind of comes back at a little hook or slant. Nobody was near him. And Phoebus is going to have to do a little bit more of this, Mike. North Stafford gives up 180 yards passing per game. Now, unfortunately, Phoebus is only passing for about 74, but you and I know we've seen them pass for a whole lot more.
And off to Pittman again to the near side. He's brought down right at the 30, and that's going to be close. He's got to touch the 30, guys, for the first down. That's not a very good spot right there. And they're going to call a 4th down play here. Let's see if he got to the 30. Ooh, his hand hit down. He rolled over the 30.
That's close.
That is not a good mark right there for the Phantoms.
Bob's moving into place. Bob, what do you think down there? You've got the view on it.
He did not, that was not a good friendly mark. He actually got on the other side of the 30 when he came down, and they marked it on the wrong side.
They did. So they're going to go 4th down and about 4 inches here. Henderson probably keep it up the middle. He does. He will get over the 30 to the 31, and he will go 1st and 10 as the Phantoms will continue this drive right here. 7:06 to go in the second quarter play. We're all tied up 7 apiece. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz, and Frank Edgar helping us out with the stats again this week.
We appreciate all the hard work that those young men do for us for each of these games. Brent and Bob are real busy all week long. Frank, he's still young, so we don't call that being busy. He just calls that having fun when he gathers all the information. And we stand up here and talk about all this stuff and look good.
Quick pass out to Deloach, makes a move to the outside. He's all the way down to near midfield. A pickup of about 19 yards on the play. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Phoebus Phantoms. Nice run by Deloach.
I want you to watch Deloach on this, folks. It's a good pass, quick pass. Now watch Deloach's right arm go out here. Right there. Boop. No, not today. Push me out the way. Look at that. He gets about 10 more yards after that good stiff arm there. He just, one of the guys in the truck says he didn't stiff arm him. He just marked him. Oh, nice play. Nice play by Deloach. I'd like to see him go to him a little bit more.
Now they're making Deloach leave the game here. I'm not real sure why.
Oh, my goodness. Is that who I think it is? Oh, Lord. We got to go back to that gentleman there. I believe that was Mr. Joey. Ooh.
He gets the handoff and slips and falls, and there is the ball flying in the air. I thought it was a flag, but it was the ball. No gain on the play as he just gets to the other side of the 50.
Yeah, his feet just slipped right out from under him on that one, or he'd have picked up a few more yards.
Still call it 10 yards to go. Second down and 10 for the Phantoms.
Deloach back in the game. There's number 9 and number 64 for the Phoebus Phantoms. That is number 9, Devon Robinson, and number 64 is Alexander Williams on the sideline.
Off to Pittman, he breaks the tackle, gets outside, makes a couple of moves, and he's all the way down near the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him out at about the 26. Nice run by Mr. Pittman on that one.
Well, it seems like every time it looks like Stafford is going to hold back Phoebus, they just break loose with a good block there. Another block, good, nice block by Deloach, who made that catch a few minutes ago.
First and 10 ball is marked at the 27-yard line. Henderson under center, one wide out to the near side of Deloach. And there is flags on the ground again.
Probably have some illegal procedure, maybe. Hope not.
Thrown on this side of the field. Like it might go against the Phantoms. Offside against the Phantoms. Must have lined up offside before the snap.
Must have.
So the 5-yard penalty makes it first and 15 now, back at the 32-yard line.
Watch for Pittman again, folks. He's already got 11 carries and 92 yards here in the first half.
Featherstone all the way out, Featherston all the way to the near side. There's a draw to Pittman as he will get near the 30, and that's it.
Yeah, number 77 for the North Stafford Wolverines. Number 77, Eric Zemansky, was waiting on him when he came through there that time.
Up for a couple of yards.
I'm not quite so sure. Somebody may have missed a block or something, but Zemansky just grabbed him.
Second down and about 13 now for the Phantoms. Ball sits right at the North Stafford 20-yard or 30-yard line.
We got two men coming out here. Let's throw a little pass to Deloach.
Deloach is the slot back. Back to throw, wide open over the middle, and overthrown to Featherston at the 20 or at the 15-yard line. He was wide open.
Deloach was over on the right side near the goal line, and there wasn't anybody within 20 yards of him. No one. Talk about wide open. He was wide open.
Ball went right through the hands. It was a little bit overthrown to Featherston.
When he looked in that direction and reared back to throw, I thought that's where he was going, and I was thinking 6 points.
Third down now and 13. Ball sits at the 30. 3 wide outs now to the near side. Toss over
there
the middle.
Again. Oh,
and the Phoebus player was tripped. That was Deloach, and there's no foul. Wow. We'll have to see the replay on that one again, but it looked like the defender may have tripped Deloach.
I think they're going to call that incidental contact, though, because he was going for the ball. But I know that Deloach probably went back to the huddle and said, guys, look, I was wide open over there. We got to come back here.
I'm sure that the Phoebus coaches at the other end of the press box saw that, because that's what they did. They came back with it. But either way, there's a player now for North Stafford down right at the end zone. And it looks like Anderson will set it up to kick a long field goal.
I believe this was the defender that was that went up for the ball. Got his legs tangled.
Number
with
14, he's a key player. He's also their offensive wide receiver.
Shagog,
as he's looks like they're looking at his ankle.
Yes, they are. Yeah, he's the one that scored the touchdown.
That's not good news for the Wolverines
Stafford.
here.
Here's Anderson back. He sees the receiver, throws, and the players go up. Legs kind of hit. I'm not sure I can see anywhere where he may have hurt that ankle, but obviously he did. It could have been when he came down and they did all the twisting and turning on the ground.
He seems to be walking okay. A little bit of a limp, but looks like Anderson will come in now to attempt about a, looks like a 47-yard. No, he was out there warming up to kick the field goal. Now they're going to go on a 4th down play. Like they're going to call timeout now. Well, he actually came out there while the injured player was practicing kicking like he was going to kick it, and he had the block. And so it looked like they may have decided to go on a 4th down play, but this is going to be a long 4th down, 4th and 13.
I don't know how accurate their punter is, but this might be a good place to kind of pin them down in the 10.
Down to 4:58 here in a fast-moving first half here, tied up 7-7.
All right, Bob, we got timeout. What do you have down there?
All right, first of all, the Sexton talked to the official, and he said that they got tangled up, but he did not interfere with his ability to catch the ball. That's why there was no pass thrown.
Incidental
contact. And secondly, when the Phoebus Phantoms just come off of the timeout, there were 12 men on the field. So that may be another reason why they called timeout.
That would be a good reason to call timeout. Thank you, Bob Hintz, down on the sideline with a bird's eye view. Well, it appears they are going to go for it, which is kind of a surprise up here, but let's see what happens, folks.
Anderson in the shotgun, 3 wideouts to the near side. Back to throw. Down the left sideline, pass was intended for the Phantoms, number 15, Tyler Adams. The ball was overthrown inside the 5-yard line. So they turned the ball over, and North Stafford takes over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Well, Mike, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think the ball was overthrown. I think it was underthrown. He was trying to get it over that North Stafford player and into the end zone to the receiver, who was actually a little further out. We couldn't see it there, and cutting behind the defender. And I think he was trying to get it into the end zone and undershot it. But in either case, it was 4th down. It's now North Stafford's ball with 4 minutes and 52 seconds in the half.
We'd be in the shotgun, 3 wideouts to the far side. Coming back in motion is the fullback, and there's Daniels on the handoff right up the middle. He will pick up about 3 or 4 on the play. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 33, so we'll call it a gain of 3. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Phantoms.
Nice little run by Daniels. He had plenty of blocking out there for him, but unfortunately for him, where the blockers were blocking, the Phoebus defense had pretty much clogged every gap there, and Daniels, as you'll watch here, had to cut back to find something to get him some yardage, which he did.
Shagog, by the way, is back in. There's that sweep to the wide receiver, number 1 this time, Ravelli. Ravenel. He will pick up about 5 on the play out to about the 37. We'll call it a gain of 4. 3rd down and 3 now. Key play for the Phoebus defense right here. As the clock continues to run, as we're under 4 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. As we're still tied 7-7 here. As the Division 5 state semifinal contest. The winner will play next weekend at Charlottesville at UVA for the state championship. There's Daniels on a handoff. It's a draw right up the middle. Looks like he's got it in his hand, and he's down at the 45.
They're still getting yardage off that right side.
There is a flag down all the way back here at the 34-yard line.
That might be illegal procedure. Might be a holding right there. Boom, there goes the ball. Can you see it there?
Got an illegal motion call against North Stafford, so they'll pull this one back.
That was a great camera shot of that ball popping up on the tackle. James Bailey on the right. James Bailey, part of security.
That's Mike. Yeah, Mike.
5-yard penalty. We make it 3rd down and about 18, or 3rd down and 8 now for North Stafford. The ball sits at now the 32-yard line.
Oh, rather than Daniels this time, Michael, what do you think?
Pass.
Yeah.
Look for the pass to number 14.
It's the money man. Although the tight end, Nelson, has caught a couple of the last ones. Watch that big man. He's 6'2", 210. Oh, 6'3",
He dropped straight back, is being forced out, and the screen pass up the middle. That one's not going anywhere, folks. They're going to lose a bunch of yards as the Phoebus Phantoms defense stood up on the play. Good job.
I know one player in there was number 10, Miles Givers, for that play. He smelled that one quickly and was all over it. Here you see the little pass, and boom, there's Givers right there. Hits the runner quickly, and then right behind him are 2 more of the Phantoms to put that one away.
Featherston is deep now for the Phantoms, back inside his own 40.
I think this is the first punt of the game. Is that right, Mike?
No,
they punted after the first series. That's right, second punt of the game.
Yeah, they had him. They pushed him all the way back. Nice spiral kick. And he fumbled the ball. Get to the ball, guys. Get to the ball, guys. It looks like North Stafford has the ball inside the Phantoms' 30-yard line, and that's a bad thing to happen right here before halftime.
That's a real bad thing. Ooh. The first turnover of the game, and it's a big one as the fair catch is called.
Yeah, he did.
And he can't hang on to it. Number 6 for the Wolverines covers that one, and that is Andrew Sly, the linebacker on defense.
So 1st and 10 as the ball sits at the Phantoms' 27-yard line. And it looks like North Stafford will call timeout with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the second quarter of play. The score tied 7-7 here at Darlin Stadium.
How quickly things can change. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC, Cox Channel 48 and Verizon Fios Channel 23. On December the 3rd, 2011, in the state semifinal game. And it's a good one, a very good game. Unfortunately, on that last punt, as you're watching on the screen there, the fair catch was called for but not made, and the Wolverines were able to recover the fumble, and now they have excellent field position at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. And Mike, with 2:17 and a tie score here, and you got a big break like that, you look for the backbreaker. Right now, I would be watching for a pass into the end zone. Just take a shot at it on 1st down.
Right.
They've got to be feeling comfortable about the running game, so let's take a shot at the end zone. Let's see what they do. They'll probably run, but.
Oh, they're passing. There's the pass. Wide open, too, and there's Strong all the way in for the score as they took advantage of the Phoebus turnover.
That was just a quick, simple pass to a receiver who fought his way to openness. And, I mean, he was open. He had a good 3 steps on his defender. Watch this. He had more than that, 6, 7 steps to his defender. Chicago just went right down the sideline. That was just a straight post pattern almost.
Tyler Adams was right with him until about the 5-yard line. Then it looked like they separated.
Yep. Well, that's where Chicago has shown me in his routes that I've been watching, his separation from the defense. He's done a good job of that. Woo.
Reeve in now to kick the extra point. Kick is up. It's long enough. And it's good. So North Stafford now has taken the lead here over the Phoebus Phantoms, and they lead with 2:12 to go by a score of 14-7. Well, that game sure did change complexity real quick, didn't it?
It did. And Mike, as we watch the touchdown pass here, this drive took 5 plays, covered 70 yards. And the touchdown was the pass as we watch it to Shagog. Anthony Shagog, the wide receiver, number 14, a junior, 6'3", 210 pounds.
That's his second touchdown of the game. One was on a wide receiver sweep on a handoff.
So he has been the offense tonight, or today, excuse me. Look at Braxton. Do you remember Braxton that used to work for WHCS and LSC and is now retired and taking it easy and watching the game from this position now rather than have to watch it from this position up here? Hello, Braxton. Well, Mike, Phoebus is going to need something big here. They don't want to go into the half down by 7, but we've seen this happen before.
Yep.
Right, and Phoebus will come back, but it'd be nice if we could get them to score one more time before the half.
He gets off and he's all the way down into the end zone, so the Phantoms will have to start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. As we talked early about the fact that both of these two teams had kickers to Division I scholarships, and the North Stafford kicker, that actually the quarterback is showing you why.
Well, and their kicking game is pretty much the difference in the game today, Michael. I mean, they've had 2 kickoffs that have gone into the end zone. They had a punt that put them down on inside the 5-yard line. Both times Phoebus was not able to do a lot of any. Well, one time they were, but the other 2 times they couldn't do anything at all. And then the punt, which was fumbled and picked up by North Stafford.
Anderson under the center, hands the ball off to Pittman, straight up the middle. He will get near the 25-yard line where he's brought down. Gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 now for the Phantoms as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter.
2-minute and spinning as it goes down to 150. Again, this is December 3rd, 2011. You are watching this from Darling Stadium on Cox Channel 48 and Verizon 23 as Phoebus takes on North Stafford in the semifinals.
Pittman again, this time off the right side. It just took too long to get set up. I mean, that's a play where you see Anderson running after Pittman to hand the ball off, and by then the defense has already seen it and they've caught up with it.
You picked that one out exactly correct, Michael. Pittman makes his presence known when he gets the ball quickly and bursts up the middle. When Anderson takes it, just like you said, he's following Pittman, or Pittman's following him, and the defense is following both of them. So by the time Pittman gets it, the defense is right there, and it's boom, bam, thank you.
Nothing doing on that play. They'll bring up 3rd down and 5 as the Phantoms call timeout here with 1:32 to go before halftime as they trail this game 14-7.
With that last run, Pittman now has 14 carries and 99 yards, so he's got almost 100 yards in the first half. I'm going to guess within the next 1:32 he's going to go over the 100-yard mark, which means he's destined for 200, at least in my book. Phoebus is not finished.
Well, the biggest problem they've got right now is they need to mix it up like North Stafford's doing. Mix up the pass and mix up the run. If they're going to continue to run, and they're behind doing it, it's not going to be it might hurt them a little bit in the long run.
Yeah. Well, remember, North Stafford gives up 336 yards per game. Here's where they give up a lot of it through the air.
There's a nice pass to Featherston as he breaks free inside of the North Stafford territory all the way down as he's forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Nice gain by Featherston.
35-yard gain on the play for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Good call by the Phoebus staff. They're giving up 180 yards in the air. They're going to have to start hitting some small passes like this or some shorter passes and letting Featherston and Ramon Deloche use their speed. And we've seen both of them do that after they've caught the ball. Just got to get them the ball. Let them go to work.
Featherston comes to the near side. In the slot is Deloche. There's a pitch to... No, it's not Pittman, it's Belfield.
It's Belfield, I'm sorry.
He's going to pick up a yard on the play as he's down at about the 39-yard line as the clock continues to run down to 1:10. The Phantoms have 1 timeout left here in the 2nd quarter.
On that pitch to Belfield, when he got to the edge, he was met by 2 tacklers from North Stafford who just slammed right into him. Timeout
is called by the Phantoms. That will be their last timeout of the first half.
While we've got a second here, I just want to mention the production crew that's with us today on the cameras: Wube Grabe, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Our graphics and animation and comedian, Andy Foley. The slow motion instant replay, Krista Campbell. Our camera control operator, Renee Camden. The chief engineer back at the station, Don Scharouse. And our engineer here at the field, Greg Glesko. The director, the chef, the cook, the producer, Scotty Bowers.
Makes a mean hamburger.
He does that. And up in the booth, I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. And we have along with us Brent Musgrove and Frank Edgar doing the stats, interviews, and pregame information. And on the field, where it's a little chilly, but bringing us his great interviews, Mr. Bob Hintz.
Don't forget, Bob's got a nice special guest at halftime, so we'll be sending it down to him just shortly after the conclusion here of the second quarter, as we have 59 seconds left. The Phantoms have a second down and 9 at the 39-yard line. Let's see what they can do. They're now set up with 3 wideouts. Adams in motion now. There's a fake to Pittman, a long pass down the right sidelines to Deloach.
He's got it, but is he in?
1-yard line.
And he's in.
No, he's not
He's
in.
He's inbounds. He's inbounds.
Oh, yes. First and goal now at the 2-yard line. What a play.
This is a du-du-du. Look at the pass. He was just
he was
aired
hit
it out.
just as he let it go.
Look at this nice hands, and look at the footwork on this now. Here, oh man, look at the footwork on this. Boom, boom.
All right, here we go
Got
as the clock
right
continues to run at 50 seconds. Here's a handoff to Pittman over the left side. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there, as the Phantoms have to get going real quick now. They have no timeouts left. It's down to 40 seconds. Second down and goal.
Give it to the man that's got the heart. Let him follow 36 and 54. Give it to Pittman.
Bring it to the near side, guys. Come on. Here it is. There's
It's a pitch.
to
He's
Pittman.
got plenty
he goes
of room.
into touchdown, Phantom.
Pittman will go in 3 yards for the Phantoms.
So the score changed real quick as the Phantoms drive right down the field 80 yards and score the touchdown as they get ready to go for the tie-in extra point.
Look at those 2 lead blocks. Is number, who is that, number 64? Takes out the man.
86, 36.
His number 54 took out the man on the right. It was just a great block. And I'm going to tell you in just a second, number 54 is Kevin Lyles.
There is a flag down on the field. Krent now in to kick the extra point attempt to tie the game here. Offside against North Stafford is declined.
While he sets up to kick this, folks, that scoring drive took 7 plays, covering 80 yards, 1 minute and 49 seconds, and culminated with the touchdown by Pittman.
Crimp in there out of the hold of Henderson. There's the snap, the kick. It's up long enough. It looks like it was just inside the left upright, and it is good. So we're all tied up here with 21 seconds left to go before halftime. Phoebus 14 and North Stafford 14.
Say that again.
Phoebus 14 and North Stafford 14.
This, believe it or not, is a tight game. It's a good game. Back and forth as we watch the pitch to Pittman, and he just burst through there following his blockers.
I called that too, by the way.
Yes,
Bring
you
it to
did.
the right side. Bring it to the right side. There you go.
Well, I don't think anybody had any trouble figuring out that Pittman's going to take that ball and go in. That was not a question. Now, my guess is don't kick it deep again, Mike.
Well, I say if he can get it into the end zone,
ground.
go on and kick it through the end zone. Keep the ball away from 14. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he's
looks
been
like
there playing.
looks like deep now is number 9 for North Stafford. That's Watkins.
Looks like
And
they're
also-
not too deep. Looks like they're expecting a shorter kick here, Mike.
Ravenel over there, also number 1. They're both standing inside the 20. So let's see what Anderson does here with the kickoff.
I like your idea. Put it on past him. They're all up.
A lot of space in the middle of the field right there, and that's where he kicks it. Ravenel will kick it at the 5. 10, 15, 20. Good defense right there. Who is that?
Number 28 for the Phoebus Phantoms
Taquan
is
Blakely.
Taquan
Good job by
Blakely.
Blakely on that stop.
Blakely got right down there and just stood right in front of him, said, go ahead, try.
A one-on-one, too.
Boom.
So the return gives the North Stafford Wolverines a first down just outside their own 20-yard line with
Look at Blakely.
16 seconds.
Boom, just busted right through there, and then number 25, Jerome Wright, came in to make sure he didn't go anywhere.
Like they're not going to sit down on it either. They're going to try to do something here with 16 seconds left.
I'd expect them to air it out.
And off to Daniels over the right side. He will pick up a little bit more than 5. Looks like he goes out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Pickup of almost 7 on the play. We'll call it 6. Second down and 4 as the ball goes out of bounds, still with 9 seconds left.
Got to find a way to stop that man. I know it's difficult to do with that passing game, but got to find a way to keep him from getting to that edge, taking that corner.
Avenal number 1 comes to the near side.
Avenel.
Shugog is to the far side. There's Daniels right up the middle.
Yep. Right off that right side again, Mike.
Looks like Featherston finally brings him down at the 40-yard line. A big pickup that time as the clock continues to run. And looks like, well, they'll mark it and start it up right here. And we've come to the end of the first half of play. So at halftime here, we are knotted up here between North Stafford and the Phoebus Phantoms, 14 all. Send it down to the sidelines for a special interview down there with Bob Hintz.
All right, thanks, guys. I got the athletic director of Phoebus High School, Deanna Brown. And Deanna, first of all, I want to ask you that this program and the basketball program has really incited and made the students real happy over at Phoebus High School. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it keeps our school spirit really high, and it keeps the focus on, especially for the athletes, it helps keep them focused on school, because in order to be a part of that success, they have to be good students first. So, and across the board, it's had a good effect on the whole school atmosphere as far as team spirit and the community as a whole.
Well, you're real tight with this football team. You know these guys intimately. I mean, you know, oh, that's my man right there.
Yes. I'm born and bred on football myself. I love athletics, and these kids, they kind of grow on you. We got some really good kids that are very likable, and they'll work their heart out for you.
Well, I was talking to Walt Brantley, Big Walt, and he was telling me about his son has made the best grades that he's had since he's been in school.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's a reflection of the effort that the coaches have put on the student athlete. We as administration and the school are really emphasizing the student part of it, and in order to be a part of a winner, you got to be a winner in the classroom as well.
Well, I tell you, I know you got to be proud of the athletics over there. You're doing a great job as AD.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Go Phantoms.
There you go. All right, stay tuned for second half action.
Welcome back to second half action here as we are finishing up the halftime here at Darland Stadium in the Division V state semifinal contest between the North Stafford Wolverines and the Phoebus Phantoms. We're all knotted up at 14 here. Paul, interesting first half. Back and forth.
A little too interesting. I'd rather it was like 28-0 Phoebus. But,
well, yeah, I think we'd all like that.
You know, what I say doesn't matter down there. It's been a really interesting game. It's been a good game. It's been a good fight back and forth. Phoebus has really rolled up some offense, but give North Stafford credit. They bend, but they don't give up.
Here's some of our first half stats, our first half highlights. We'll take a look at them.
And this is the first run that Pittman had of the day. They were pinned down inside the 5-yard line, and he gets Phoebus out of a big hole right here. Phoebus continues on down the field, and finally Pittman gets the ball, runs off the left-hand side, follows a block, and into the end zone to give Phoebus a 7-0
And that was
lead.
a 96-yard drive for that score.
Right here, Stafford's quarterback, Greeby, passes to the tight end over the middle. A great catch that moves them closer, and then they give the ball to Shigog on an end around, who takes it in to tie the game, and we're all knotted up at 7 each. Henderson then tosses the ball to Deloach, giving him the pitch and run. Deloach takes it upfield, uses a stiff arm to get a few more yards, and puts Phoebus in good position. Then they turn around and give it to Pittman, and again they tack that left-hand side. Pittman rolls up the field for 23 yards. Eventually, Stafford will get the ball back on a fumble recovery on a fair catch, and the quarterback, Greeby, will hit Shigog for a touchdown with less than 2 minutes. And the Phantoms behind 14-7. Anderson hits Deloach, who makes a circus catch at the 2-yard line. And 2 plays later, the pitch goes to, yes ma'am, that's it, Tony Pittman, who takes it in to tie the score with 24 seconds left in the half. And that's how we ended the half, Michael, with the score tied up at 14-all.
Interesting halftime stats. We'll bring those up here for you to see here as both teams did pretty well today. Passing the ball, the Phantoms had 106 yards. North Stafford had 69. Rushing yards was 135 for the Phantoms, 66 for North Stafford. The total yards are a little bit misconceiving, as during the game, actually, it didn't look like it was that far off. But Pittman's ended up with over 100 yards in the first half. The passing yards was a little bit skewed when it got down to the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, when that long pass to Deloach in the corner that was allowed the Phoebus Phantoms time to get that tying touchdown. Only 1 turnover, which led to a touchdown for North Stafford, and that was by the Phoebus Phantoms. Look at the time of possession. Can't be much better than that. 12:02 to 11:58, 4-second difference. And
shows in the score.
Yeah. As we get near the start of the third quarter play, the Phoebus Phantoms will have the ball first to start off the third quarter, as they deferred after winning the coin toss to open the game. Tied up 14-14 here at the end of the halftime festivities, so to speak. The Phoebus band was out there doing some strutting, and now the teams will come back on the field and will begin the third quarter players. North Stafford, the Wolverines, as they 11-2 on the season after a 5-5 record last year and 1-9 the year before. What a turnaround in that program.
They have, and I'll tell you what, they're trying to turn it around in this game. And Bob, you've been down on the field watching this game for the first half here, and you've seen pretty much what we've seen, but you've been able to see it at the ground level. The Stafford team, which usually has a powerful offense, has really not been prolific, but they've been just good enough.
Well, one thing you got to understand is when you watch this quarterback, this young man has got a great arm. He knows how to pick up his receivers and make the completion. The running game is not as good. They used that flanker sweep that they scored on. That was one of their bigger plays. But you go again, you got to watch out for what Phoebus can do. They're going to get the ball. If they can set an example and move this ball down the field and score right off the bat, then that's going to put the pressure on North Stafford again.
What are they going to have to do, Bob? You mentioned that they used that little run. And from up here, we're seeing they're using it off their left-hand side, which would be Phoebus's right side of the defense. And they continue to pick up 4 or 5 yards on that run, which opens up the passing game for them. What is Phoebus going to have to do to stop that short running game they've got?
Well, the line and the linebackers have got to play their position. You can't go with fakes. You can't be looking at other places that's happening in the backfield. You have got to do your assignment. If you do your assignment, then you're going to be in a position to make a play defensively.
Now, what about Phoebus, Bob? I'm looking at the fact that North Stafford's given up almost 200 yards per game passing. We know Anderson can pass. We've seen him pass. We saw the great catches that have been made. Are they going to have to set up a passing game in the second half?
I don't think so, because they showed that they can do it at the end of the half. What they need to do is what they've done all year long is run the ball, run the clock, shorten the game. That way the other team doesn't have much time to score.
Keep the ball out of their hands.
Absolutely.
Smash mouth football, back like the old days.
Well, they'll get to start the third quarter of play as they will have the ball first. And we talked about how even the North Stafford offense was passing and running. Can't get much evener than that. 66 yards rushing and 69 yards passing. Kind of balanced out pretty evenly, and that'll keep the defense off balance a little bit.
And it has, and that's been one of the good things for North Stafford.
Well, North Stafford
doesn't know what's coming.
North Stafford had that one good drive, and of course the second touchdown was a gimme. It was off of a botched punt for the Phantoms and a fumble, and then one play later, bang, the touchdown pass.
It's amazing how one play can turn around a game, but we've seen that. Fortunately for Phoebus, and I've seen this for many years, that was and could have been a big turnaround. But this Phoebus team knows how good they are. They know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to come back. We've seen them this year come back several times. We've seen them, Mike, you and I, in many, many, many playoff games over the last few years, get behind in a situation and come right back because they stay with the basics. They know what they can do. They know what they're going to do. And they just go out and do it. And they proved that right before the end of the half when many teams would have let that turnover just deflate them completely. Phoebus did. Henderson and Pittman and Belfield and the rest of them took that team right back on the field, marched down. Deloach with that just stunning catch. And then Pittman says, give me the ball. Tie score, and they're going in. And we're ready to start this third quarter, the second half. And, of course, we're hoping Phoebus will do exactly what Bob said. Go back to the basics, grind it out, control it, move that ball, and not make any turnovers.
This is the Division 5 state semifinal game. Winner will go next weekend to Charlottesville at the University of Virginia Scott Stadium, and they will play for the state championship game. So the winner of this game will go to Charlottesville next weekend, and hopefully it's the Phoebus Phantoms. And again, they're switching sides as they did in the first half.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the second half of this game is going to be sponsored by Eric Thompson Realtor. You can contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127. And the third corner is sponsored by Kaufman and Knoles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center and in Newport News at City Center. Also by Made Men Management. Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Former football player Justin Russell is a certified sports agent, and he gives you a full-service sports management experience. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located on Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And also by the Grey Goose Restaurant on West Queensway in Hampton, Rico's Pizza on West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center, and Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead Avenue and Interstate 64.
Greeby sets it up now. He will tee it up and kick it off for North Stafford. Back deep is Justin Lyles and Featherston. Looks like Featherston will take it out about the 8-yard line, bring the ball right up the middle, and slide safely into the 25-yard line.
Slide safely. I like that.
It looked like he was sliding into second base on that play. Watch this. Watch this replay.
Oh, my goodness.
He's getting ready to get tagged out, folks, and he slides in safely. All right, so they set it up at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Phoebus Phantoms here to start the second half action here. 14-14, Phoebus and North Stafford here in the Division 5 state semifinal game. Winner again goes to Charlottesville next week to play in the state championship game. Anderson hands the ball off to Pittman right up the middle for about 6 yards out to the 30. Nice pickup on the play on the 1st and 10.
What did Phoebus do the very first play of the game?
The exact same thing they did right there.
Same thing. You run Pittman. You establish the running game. And as we watch the replay, This is what Pittman works best off. No chasing, no pitching. You just turn around and give him the ball. Let him get that head of steam up, hit the line, and get the yardage. Don't
6-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 4. 2 wide outs to the far side. Again, a handoff to Pittman, makes a move to the inside. He will pick up a couple yards to about the 32, and he'll be about 2 yards shy of a phantom first down.
Pittman saw a little bit of daylight, but by the time he made that turn, give that Stafford defense credit. They saw that gap open, and they plugged it quickly. And when Pittman hit what he thought was going to be a gap, he hit a brick wall.
About 2.5-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down, a long one. Yep, long.
Long.
That's about a foot longer than a yard, which means it's about 4 foot.
It's a 4-foot yard. Must be European.
Pittman on the handoff, and he gets near the 34-yard line. It depends on the mark, guys. Where he is putting his foot down, it looks like he may be good for the first down. It'll be good enough where they're going to have to call timeout and bring out the sticks to check this out. This is going to be close.
Yeah, most of the spots have not been favorable to Phoebus. They've always been just a little bit short. This one's really close.
I believe they got the first down. He's got the first down. He gave them the first down. Yep. So the Phantoms just pick up enough for the first down as the ball marked at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Phoebus.
All right. A look at the Phoebus five line. Stafford. Yep, we'll get it again. Just reject that one.
That one more time.
Yeah. A look at the Phoebus sideline as the Phantoms prepare to come to the line.
In the I formation, split wide outs to the far side. Anderson back to throw. There's a slant pass that was underthrown. It was intended for, I believe, Deloach. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Phantoms.
Deloach had about a step there, and if he could have gotten that ball to him, they'd have picked up a few yards, but that ball was just in the ground. Looked like he might have been going for number 15, too. Maybe he had somebody running the wrong route there. You had 2 receivers right next to each other.
Tyler Adams was to the outside. Again, that's the way they set up this time. Again, in the I formation. Pittman is the tailback. Deloach is the inside receiver. Pitch out to Pittman, and he bowls his way right over the defender, and he's going to pick up about 3 to about the 38-yard line.
The linebackers for Stafford, number 10, Sly, 8, Purvis, 6, Sly, 31, Thomas, are beginning to come up and fill those gaps. You can see right here, they get in there and plug that gap up quickly. The holes are opening, but the linebackers are quickly moving into it.
The linebackers are staying home is what they're doing. There's Featherson coming back into the lineup. It's 3rd down and about 6 now for the Phantoms at their own 38-yard line. In the shotgun. Anderson drops back to pass. Short pass over the middle was intended for Featherson. Good defense on the play. That time is incomplete as it's touched and directed away from the receiver. That'll bring up 4th down and 6, and the punt team now will come in for the Phantoms.
Yeah, good blocking there, plenty of defense, but look how many people are back here on defense for Stafford. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're throwing into that
Purvis.
coverage.
Anderson now in to punt the ball away. Well, back to receive it at the 30. Runs forward to the 45. He is dropped at just shy of the 45-yard line. Give up close to 15 on the run back, and that'll bring up 1st and 10. Good field position to start their first drive here in the second half for the North Stafford Wolverines. 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is LSC, your local sports channel, coming to you on Cox Channel 48 and Verizon Fios Channel 23. It is December the 3rd, 2011. This is the semifinal state championships at Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia. And what a game it is.
Reeby in the shotgun, 2 wide outs to the near side. Daniels is the setback in a draw play. He might be gone, fellas. It depends on whether the Phantoms can catch up with him. He is forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 8. Nice run. Big hole right there.
Bob, that's what we were talking about just a little while ago. That's that play. Nobody touches him on that side, Bob. They're just, what's going on?
You got better sight of that than I do because it's on the other side of the field. But again, you got to play your position. You got to do your assignment. And when you come around there, the guy's got blocked and he just shows good speed.
Oh, yes, he does. He gets to that edge quickly, and he really accelerates.
There's the handoff on that sweep end around again. He's going to pick up a couple of yards, but it looks like he's going to be stopped shy of the 5.
That's a good call by Stafford there. They used that play to score their first touchdown in the first half. Why not try it here on the short side of the field and see if you can put him in? Here's Shagog with the handoff. This time they meaning Phoebus, stayed home, and there was nowhere for Shagog to go that time. Good defense for Phoebus that time. They've got to shore up that side.
Second down and goal just outside the 5. Shotgun again. There's Daniel straight up the middle. He's inside the 5. He's down near the 2, where he is finally brought down by the Phantoms interior lineman. That'll be third goal after a pickup of about 3.
Stafford line on that side is opening holes.
There goes a flag, and it's
uh-oh.
That was thrown from the line of scrimmage all the way to the 20-yard line. Not real sure why. It must be a sideline. Unsportsmanlike against North Stafford. That's going to hurt.
What that was for. Well, I didn't see anything, but obviously the refs have.
Had to be from the coaching staff because that's where the flag was thrown. Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Could have been one of the players that said something out there.
The ball's brought all the way back to the 17-yard line, so it's still third and goal. But instead of third and goal from the 2, it's now from the 17.
Mike, I'm getting word from Bob down on the field that it appeared that one of the players said something.
Back to pass to the near side into the end zone. And it looks like it's intercepted, and it is.
Yep, I said he's got it.
Summers has intercepted the ball into the end zone. That'll stop that North Stafford drive.
And at the beginning of the game, what did we say about Summers? He was on somebody like glue at the beginning of the game. We said, watch this young man because we saw him do some things in the last few games. I said he was open, and he was. Summers was open.
That was a pretty touchdown pass to Phoebus, wasn't it?
And he took advantage of it.
So the Phantoms will get the ball back first and 10 at their own 20-yard line after the interception in the end zone.
And they need to take advantage of this turnover just like Stafford took advantage of the punt turnover. So
each team now with one turnover in the game. First and 10, the Phantoms at their own 20. Deloach to the wide right. Pittman on the near side and nothing going there. There's that play where Anderson has to chase down Pittman to hand the ball off, and every time they've run that play, they've got 0.
Yep. If they're going to do that, they need to have Belfield in there. Belfield's the one with the speed. Belfield's the one that can get to that edge and turn it upfield. Pittman is your bruiser. He's your powerhouse. He needs to go between the tackles.
By the time Anderson hands the ball off to Pittman, the defensive's already there covering it. We haven't. We now have a Phoebus Phantom player is down at the 20. Let's hope that's not Pittman. And not tell who it is. Bob, do you happen to know who that is?
Number 25, but I can't see this jersey number either. Now he's getting up. Oh, it's 26.
Oh, that's Malik Hawkins.
Malik Hawkins. Let's hope he's okay. There he is right there. Come on, Malik. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Like he may have sprained his knee or his ankle or something, but he walked off on his own power. So here we go, 2nd down and 9 after a gain of a yard. DeLoach to the far side. The lone wide receiver in the I formation. There's Pittman straight up the middle, ducks his head down, and drives forward for a gain of about 2 yards to the 23, and that's it.
That Stafford defense is really clogging up the gaps now. They started doing that at the end of the second half, Mike, and they're continuing to do it now. It's making it tough for that Phoebus offensive line to clear out anything. They're going to have to get up quicker.
3rd down and a long 6 now for the Phantoms. Ball is at the 23-yard line. They need to get to the 30. Make it 3rd and 7.
They're going to have some speed on this. They're either going to have to throw the ball or somehow get Pittman past the line so he can get into the secondary.
Back to pass. Nothing doing there as Anderson pulls it back and starts to go up the middle, and he's sacked at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 3 on the play. Like they're going to mark it at the 21, so that'll make it 4th down and 9 for the Phantoms.
This Stafford defense is really, really standing up here at the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Henderson now in to punt the ball away. Back deep for number 1 is Ravel. End over end kick taken right at midfield by Ravel. Brings it straight up the middle. He's hit by a host of Phantoms, and he's brought down at the Phantoms' 35-yard line. So the field position has really changed here in the 3rd quarter of play as North Stafford now has the ball in great field position to start this at 1st and 10 in his own 36.
Here's the kick, and Ravel just had a great return. Ravenel, excuse me, not Ravel, Ravenel had a great return there. All right, time for the Phoebus defense to get that. There's another flag. What's going on here? Saw an upset player for Stafford raising his hands up like, what did I do? What's going on? So it's against them.
It looks like the officials have spotted something that North Stafford is doing now that they either were getting away with in the first half or weren't doing it. But that's another 5-yard penalty, and that's going to make it 1st and 15 back outside the 40.
5 penalties now on Stafford for a total of 40 yards.
Daniel up the middle for about 2 to the 38. Good defensive play that time by the Phantoms, like number 74 on the stop, and that's Mark Wilson.
Good defensive play, but I tell you, looking at the offensive line, looking at both lines of Stafford, they are blowing off the ball quick, very quick. Watch this. Watch that offensive line as they blow out there and push forward.
Second down and 13 now for the Wolverines.
Running back Daniels for Stafford now with 14 carries, 102 yards.
Reeby keeps the ball, and there's a flag down. This time it's the flag. The flag is thrown from the lineman on the far side of the field. Again, it's
illegal
false start against the offense. That's another 5-yard penalty. Make it 3rd down and 18, or 2nd down and 18 now.
Bob, if you're down there, watch the line, watch the center. Somebody up here said it could be that the center's doing something with the ball, but we're not sure. We can't see anything.
Maybe back to pass is a draw play right up the middle. Good run all the way back to the original line of scrimmage to 35. Gain of about 8 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now for North Stafford.
Another good run for Daniels at 10 yards will give him about 112 for the game so far. That was a good draw play there. He had plenty of room up the middle as the Phoebus defense was all spread out. And that's what happens when you have a good passing game and you can do well running.
Revenall is wide to the right. Revenell. Reeby back to pass. Overthrew. Oh, they're going to call interference, I guarantee you. There is a flag thrown at about the 11-yard line. I got a feeling it's going to be an interference call against the Phantoms.
Now let's see that on replay here. Let's watch it. Here's Greeby's throw. You see anything here?
I don't see. I don't see no pass interference on that one.
I don't see it. It wasn't there, folks. That's just my opinion, but it wasn't there.
But it's a 15-yard penalty against the Phantoms. That's going to give North Stafford a 1st and 10 at the Phantoms 20-yard line.
We're going to watch it again, Mike.
What's that?
I don't
Phantom?
see a touch. I don't see a hand. I don't see him running. I don't see it. It's not there. He didn't touch it. But then again, I'm up here. I'm not down on the field. So.
Maybe on a swing out to throw the ball over the middles, overthrown to the intended receiver, who was number 14 on the play.
And we had a block in the back right in front of a referee down there, it looked like to me.
Shigog was the intended receiver.
Maybe it'll look different from here. Let's see. Boom, right there. My goodness! My goodness! Right there in front of it. How do you miss that? I'm sorry. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. My goodness.
2nd down and 10. Daniels on the handoff right up the middle. Nothing going there. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing.
Great wrapping tackle that time by number 54, Kevin Lyles, as he grabbed the back and tossed him to the ground. I'll tell you what, that last play and that last block, you can't get much more flagrant than that.
3rd down and 10 now.
Oh, we're going to show it again. Watch this. Look right there in the middle of your screen, right here, coming in. Boom! Look at it. It's not a block in the back. I don't know what is.
All right, big defensive play right here. 3rd down and 10. Reeby back to throw. Over the middle. Ball was overthrown. It's incomplete as it falls in the end zone. That'll bring up a 4th down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Let's see. Looks like we're going to have a field goal attempt here, as Greeby is the kicker too, by the way.
Miles Givers, number 10, was in quickly on Greeby and was all in his face when he tried to throw that ball.
So a 37-yard field goal attempt by Greeby out of the hold of number 11, T.J. Williams. He's got plenty of foot to do this. Question is whether he can kick it straight. It's short, and it looks like it may have gone over. It did. 37-yard field goal just goes over the crossbar, and it is good as North Stafford takes the lead 17-14 with 2:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. That was pretty much his I guess his extended range right there.
Yeah.
Let's watch this ball go right through the crossbar here.
It's up, and it is.
It went right across it.
Oh, my goodness.
So after the short punt and the good field position, the North Stafford Wolverines kick a 37-yard field goal, now leads 17-14. We're at 2:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play.
That drive went 16 yards, used up 6 plays and 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and ended with a 37-yard field goal. Quarterback for Stafford, Greeby. LSC, you're watching us on Cox Channel 48, Verizon Fios Channel 23. You can also watch us on the internet. Go to the Hampton City Schools homepage, Click on WHCS on the right-hand side. That'll take you to another screen with WHCS on it. Look on the right-hand side to the black area where it says LSC. Click on that. A little box will drop down in the left-hand corner of your computer screen, and you'll be able to watch us right there all day and all night as we bring you 24 hours of sports.
Well, that was a strange play right there as Raymond Deloach grabbed the ball at the 25-yard line, came 5 yards and ran out of bounds, I guess to keep from being hit. And that was one of those plays that if he'd let it go on out of bounds, they'd have had it at the 35.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Ramon was thinking about that time, but he should have just let that one go.
So 1st and 10 now. The Phantoms will start this drive at their own 30-yard line. 2:50 to go here in the third quarter of play as they trail again by a score of 17-14.
It's a big drive right here for the Phantoms. They're going to need to get some points on this one.
Ball right up the middle. Nothing doing right there as North Stafford's defense really has come up strong here in the third quarter of play. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, for a defense that's supposed to give up 336 yards per game, I guess they've decided they gave up all they were going to give in the first half, and they're not going to give up anything in the second half because they are really firing off that thing, plugging up the gaps, finding the tackler, finding the ball carrier, and wrapping them up.
Anderson again under center, pitches the ball to Pittman, coming around the near side, breaks the tackle, and it's taken 3 players to actually bring him down after a pickup of about 6 on the play out to about the 37-yard line.
And look how many tacklers for Stafford are out there, Mike. That's what's concerning me. Too many defenders where the ball carriers are.
3rd down and about 3 now for the Phantoms at their own 37-yard line. 1:40 to go as the clock continues to run here in the third quarter of play. Anderson under the center, splits wideouts on either side in the I formation. Pittman is the tailback. Pittman takes the ball, puts his head down, and is short of the 40 by about a half a yard. And it will bring up a 4th down.
Big decision right here for the Phantoms as they're going to be short of the first down. If they decide to go for it, everybody in the world knows what the play is going to be. Looks like
Anderson
they're going to go for it.
Back in there with the ball as they will go for it here on 4th down.
Stafford with 8 men almost on the line area. Oh, they're not going to get it.
I don't know. It depends on the mark. If he gets it where he's marking it, he will have it. All he's got to do is touch the 40.
Looks like he's going to get it.
Anderson went over the center and was hit hard and got just enough to get the first down. And I tell you, that was close.
Yes, it was. Very close. Stafford.
He didn't make it by much, that's for sure. And look at this view. That's exactly where he parked it.
He got it, and then he got back. But everybody knew it was coming. That's how they got it before.
1st and 10 now. The ball sits right at the 40-yard line. They need to make midfield to get a first down. Pass play to Deloach on the far side. He's going to cut it back inside. Because he cut it back inside, he'll only pick up about 6 on the play. He should have kept on going with a stiff arm to the outside because he had all that lane over there.
Yeah, there was some open yardage there. He may have come close to the yard marker for the first down if he had hit that slant there. Let's see what we think here from the replay, Mike. There's a throw to Deloach right there. He comes up. Yeah, if he'd have gone outside, I think he would have got a few more.
So we're at the end of 3 quarters of play here as the Phoebus Phantoms trail at the end of 3, 17-14 as we get ready to play the last 12 minutes of the game here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC, Cox Channel 48, Verizon Channel 23 from Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia on December the 3rd, 2011. And we're ready to begin the fourth quarter And the fourth quarter of today's game is sponsored by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armstead Avenue, and the funeral director is Vernon Kruger. The second half is also sponsored by Eric Thompson Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property and give him a call at 685-3127. Our other sponsors for today's game include Tidewater Team Sports on Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Made Men Management, the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Football player Justin Russell, the certified sports agent. By Coliseum Central, located between Armstead Avenue and Interstate 64, where you can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs. And by Rico's Pizza at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. And by Grey Goose Restaurant on West Queensway in Hampton.
Third down and 3 now at the 47-yard line. Hand off to number 5 as Pittman is hit. He's hit twice. He's hit a third time and finally goes down after picking up about 1.5 yards, and he will be about 1 yard shy, a little bit more than 1 yard shy. We'll call it third down and 1 now for the Phantoms.
Up
at
until
the 39.
that run, Mike, Pittman had 25 carries for 126 yards, so he's got 26 carries for about 128 yards right now. He and the running back Daniels for Stafford are kind of matching each other yard for yard here.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more of Belfield.
I am too. We haven't seen him since that one run.
Third down and 1 yard now for the Phantoms. There's a sweep to the outside and puts his head down after the hit, and will pick up about 2 yards on the play and get a Phantom first down. And these are hard 2 yards here.
Yeah, it is. They're using Pittman to try and get around that edge. And Pittman, by all means, is not slow, but I don't think he's the back they need to get to the edge quickly. I think that's where they need Belfield. Pittman's doing an incredible job.
There's Belfield coming in now.
Running.
Belfield and will come in the line and give Pittman a break. Featherston in also as a wide out to the far side. Anderson under center. High formation. Back to throw, wide open over the middle. Oh, a late hit right there. And of course, no flag, but that was Justin Lyles on the catch. That was be a good for a first down. And you know, when a player is down, they're down. They don't need to be hit by the defensive player like that. That's a flag.
Let's take a look at the replay a second. I want to see something here. It's a nice pass by Anderson. Fed it right in there. He is down 1, 2, and that's a spear, folks. Helmet to helmet. Come on. That man went in there helmet first, late hit, and nothing is called.
First and 10, the ball sits at the 37-yard line. Belfield, nothing going there. He might got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
That's what, only his second run of the game.
Lyles will come back in the game now. Second down and 9 as the ball is just shy of the 35-yard line.
Loach and Lyles on one side, send them across the center and let Belfield sweep to that side.
Loach to the near side, Adams to the slot, and Featherston to the far side. Hand off to Belfield straight up the middle inside the 35 to about the 33. A gain of maybe 3 on the play. That'll bring up third down and 7. And here comes Pittman back in the game. And they're having a hard time trying to figure out what setup they want out there. Third down and 7 now. They need to get down near the 25 to get a first down.
Boombox Lyles in the backfield along with Belfield.
There should be 5 yards and no flag. Now they're going to have a delay of game call. And Lyles is upset, and I don't blame him. Somebody talked about 3 blind mice earlier. Come on, guys.
Well,
You got 3 guys on the defense that jumped. You got
I always say that I'm not down on the field. It doesn't look like I'm sure they broke the plane. But
it's hard to tell whether they broke the plane from where we're at, but it sure looked like it anyhow. So now instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and about 13. Split backs beside Anderson, 3 wideouts. Anderson drops back to pass. Throws the ball over the middle, right through the hands of Deloach inside the 20-yard line. That's a pass that should have been caught.
Well, in my opinion, it's also a pass that should have never had to have been thrown. But here's Anderson, got plenty of time, makes the throw. It's right there. He's in the crease with the opening.
Anderson now will set up to punt the ball, try to get them backed up deep in their own territory.
Oh,
Revenell is deep.
Down
Stop it. And it goes into the end zone. So, Stafford will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
8 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the game here at Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia, the state semifinals. December the 3rd, 2011. The Phoebus Phantoms on the wrong end of a 17-14 score as they face North Stafford High School.
8:35 to go here in regulation time in the 4th quarter. And the Phantoms trail by 3 here. So far been shut out in the second half.
Need a turnover here.
2 wideouts to the near side. Split backs back behind. Hand off to Daniels up the middle. Not much there as the defense for the Phantoms stiffen up. He'll pick up maybe a yard to the 21. 2nd down and about 9 now for North Stafford.
Good tight defense that time by the Phantoms. We're going to keep our eye on that defensive line and the linebackers, see if they can hold here. Bob's down on the field, so he's right near him. I see he's lining up. So we'll check with him in a few minutes here and get him to report on how this Phoebus defense is holding up.
Daniel again gets hit in the backfield, falls forward to where the line of scrimmage was. He might pick up about a yard on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down now and about 7 for North Stafford.
2 good plays by the Phoebus defense.
No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Watch this replay. The defense stands up and just pushes the offensive line back, fills the gap.
Watch the quick pass over the middle here. Coming to the near side, number 1 is Revenell. Number 14 is to the far side, and that's Shadog. Back to pass being flushed out of the pocket. Down he goes inside the 15-yard line. So great defense this time by the Phantoms, forced the sack. And that'll bring up 4th down and a bunch for North Stafford, and they will have to set up.
As we watch this replay, and we see he has plenty of time, Bob, 3 great plays by the Phoebus defense there. What's the difference right now? Are they staying home, or is something else going on down there, Bob?
I tell you, this is unbelievable. Some of the calls were coming from these officials, but you know, they see something different than I see. But when the center moves the ball forward, and they don't call anything, I'm not too thrilled about that.
Nice punt on the play and got a North Stafford bounce as it's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
24-yard roll.
That goes 64 yards.
24 yards on the roll.
So the Phantoms, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line with 6:15 to go here in the 4th quarter, play trailing 17-14.
Still plenty of time in the game. This would be one of those great times for Phoebus to get into its hard knocks, basic smash mouth football. The offensive line needs to come off quick and strong. Pittman needs to hit the gap and go.
3 wideouts, Deloach, Adams, and Featherston. Pittman on the handoff, right straight up the middle. He picks up about 3 yards before he's dragged backwards. He will get near the 24, so they'll give him about 3 yards on the play to pull up 2nd down and 7.
Phoebus with 5:51 in the game. Looking to get some points. Looking to continue on to the state championship game.
Featherston to the far side. Adams and Deloach to the near side. Hand off to Pittman, again being dragged from behind as he gets outside the 30 to about the 31. Let's see where they mark it. Shy of the 31, so that'll bring up 3rd down and about a little less than 1 for the Phantoms.
Watch Pittman go. He gets grabbed right there. Look at the jersey. Pittman now with 29 carries, 139 yards.
That was a good defense right there by North Stafford as they sliced in there and sacked, got Pittman for about a 3-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down and now for the Phantoms. And I tell you what, we're running out of times as we're down to 3:30.
Why didn't we just go off tackle?
That's that play going outside.
Tackle?
The play that goes outside that's got nothing all game.
You needed less than a yard on that time. You got one of the strongest runners around.
The Phoebus will call timeout here, and they want to talk this over as Stan Sexton seems to be having a disagreement down there with some of the coaches. So we've got to get this mess straightened out and carry on here.
Well, they certainly can't think about going for it here. You go for it here, and Stafford's going to put this game away. You've got to kick it down there, and you've got to pin them down. And that defense for the Phantoms is going to have to do the same thing they did last series, and that's stop them, drop them, and get the ball back. It is December the 3rd, 2011. You're watching LSC Cox Channel 48, Verizon Fios Channel 23. We've had a great crew with us today. Out on the cameras, we've had Wube Grube, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. The slow motion instant replay, Crystal Campbell. The camera control operator, Renee Camden. Our chief engineer, Don Chiraus, and the engineer, Greg Lesko. The funny man, the director, the producer, the chef, the man that does it all, Scotty Bowers. And up here in the booth, Brent Musgrove, Frank Edgar on the stats, Bob Hintz down on the field telling us what's happening there. I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser.
Yeah, they're going for it here, guys. 4th down and 3.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Now it looks like North Stafford will call timeout.
Oh, my gosh. This, I don't know what to call this, Mike. A gutsy call, a strange call?
Well, I think he probably feels that if he gives the ball back to him, that they're not going to have enough time because their punting game is actually what's giving them the advantage here.
You've got to have faith in your defense. Bob, any thoughts about what may happen here? What's going on?
All right, guys. You know, you're playing a little chess match here. I'm a little apprehensive about going for it. 4th and 1, I can do it. But when you're on this side of the field and you're going 4th and 4, I tell you, you're saying you got a lot of confidence in your offensive line that can move this ball, and if you don't, your defense that can stop them.
Well, they did it in the first half, but they have not been able to do it here in the second half. And here's a pass down to the far side. It's caught by Deloach at about the 39-yard line. He's forced out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That's good enough for a Phantom 1st down.
Now that's a call.
Gutsy call is what I call it. What do you think, Bob?
Here's the replay. Anderson goes back, and folks, they're not running. You would expect them to run. They throw to Deloach. It's a high throw, And Deloach gets up there and is able to keep hold of the ball. So Ramon Deloach with the money catch here with less than 5 minutes in the game.
He's had a couple of dandy catches in the game. One that set up that second touchdown for him. Here's Pittman off the right side. He picks up a bunch of yards, looks like 12, and he's outside the 49 near the midfield mark. Pickup of about 11 on the play for the Phantoms, and another Phoebus first down.
Now there's the blocking that Phoebus has been missing, and there's the Tony Pittman we're used to.
This is the first time in quite a while that they've come to the right side here too.
Yes, well,
the
he had no
touchdown
choice.
run was on the right side.
He had no choice. He tried to go left, got stopped, bounced off them, and came right.
The 1st and 10 right shy of midfield.
Good camera shot by a crew to pick that up.
Pittman again. This time nothing going. He gets a yard, and that's it.
Yeah, he's hit right
hard there
by looked like number 3 for the Wolverines, and that is Andre Hamilton. Was he in there, or was it 31? Boom.
Like he ran into the back of his own player.
Well, he hit number 31 is who he hit there. He
So
was
a gain
on the
of a
side.
yard, 2nd down and 9. Ball sits at the Wolverine 49-yard line. Pittman again gets the ball, and he gets near the 45. He'll pick up about 4 on the play.
With those 4 yards, 33 carries for Pittman, 152 yards.
So 3rd down and 5 now for the Phantoms as they need to get to the ball, just shy of the 40-yard line for first down.
And this
as
is
the clock
reminiscent.
continues to run down to 2:55.
Deloach tries to get the crowd up. Mike, this is reminiscent of the last game where Pittman just said, give me the ball and let's get down this field. Uh-oh.
That's got to be a pass. That's right. It's an incomplete pass. Yeah, that was a correct call. Goes as an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down and 5 now, and the ball still will be at the 45-yard line.
And now with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go, Mike, they don't have a choice. Here's Anderson as he goes back, play action. He goes back to throw the ball. He does try to throw it, and he's hit just as he throws it. And the ball stuck in his hand and went incomplete.
So key play of the game right here. 4th down and 5.
Will they surprise everybody again and go to the air? Or
3
will
wide
they
outs
give it
all
to
split
somebody
to
to
the near
run?
side here. Like the Phantoms will call timeout.
Somebody saw something they didn't like. Yeah. Anderson saying something to the coach.
Down to 1 timeout left in the game for the Phantoms.
Might have been too many players on the field. Maybe that's what Anderson was doing when he held up his fingers. 12. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the semifinal game here at Darling Stadium. The Phoebus Phantoms 14, North Stafford High School 17 by virtue of a field goal, the only score in the second half, giving Stafford the lead. Phoebus is going to have to convert this 4th down, and in the next 2 minutes, they're going to have to find pay dirt or get a field goal to tie it up and go into overtime. So this is the play of the game to this point. Don't get up. Don't go anywhere. If you haven't seen this game before, if you didn't read about it in the newspaper, stay glued because we're bringing it to you right now. Here it is.
Now North Stafford calls timeout. That'll leave them with 1. It's just a chess match back and forth now. I guess whoever has the last timeout will. Lord have mercy.
Oh.
Each team now with 1 timeout left. 2:36 to go in regulation. The Phantoms trail 17-14. And they're down to their last down here. They got to get a first down. They got to get 5 yards to get a first down.
Bob, Are you down there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You've been around the coaching game for many, many years. What do you do here?
Well, first of all, you don't go with 12 men on the field because they'll catch you every time. But you got to give it to the man that's got the good hands. But you can also use him as a
decoy
and hit your tight end. I don't know, man. This is a tough call.
Well, here it comes, folks.
Anderson back to throw. There's the pass, and it's caught by, looks like Adams, number 15, inside the 40, and that's enough for a Phantom first down.
So just when you think they're going to go back to the running game, they throw it in crucial situations. Anderson has plenty of time until this guy slips by. Adams is open. He's right in the seam between two defenders.
And look where they marked the ball.
And Anderson put it right there. Look at this catch.
Look where they marked it, guys. He caught the ball a yard and a half further up
he did.
and was forced back after the catch. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there goes the 5-yard penalty for having too many guys on the field. Lord. Anderson down there trying to get the coaches to calm down. Have you seen this?
No.
Well, that's going to cost the Phantoms 5, and it's brought back to the 44-yard line. And they start the clock at 2:12. First and 15 now for the Phantoms. 3 wide outs. Deloach to the far side, split wide left. Adams is the slot back. There's a handoff to Pittman off the right side. He goes through a block. He's inside the 35 down to the 34, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
They got to get up and get on the line.
Continues to run.
They got to get up and get on that line quickly. They got to get this first down.
11-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 5 for the Phantoms inside the 35.
Look at that running by Pittman. What a great job he did to get up there.
Pittman again on the left side. Stutter steps. He gets over the 30, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Give him 7 yards on the play as we're down to 1 minute and 18 to go. And the clock will start up again as soon as they get the sticks set.
Closer they get, the closer into range they get for either one of their field goal kickers.
Pittman off the right side. He gets just shy of the 25, and that's where he's brought down.
He gets bent backwards on that one as the clock winds down to 1 minute in the game. Each team left with 1 timeout. Phoebus scrambling to get back on the line as quick as they can.
Pittman comes out. Looks like he got some trash in his face there. Clock continues to run at 45 seconds. Anderson back to throw. There's a pass to the outside. It was intended for Deloach. And he is thrown behind the intended receiver. It goes out of bounds, incomplete. That stops the clock from running.
That pass wasn't even close, though, Mike. Anderson took like 1 or 2 steps back and fired it. Deloach. Deloach had gone down and was turned. Look at Anderson, 1, 2, 3, boom, he fires it. Deloach was open at the yard marker. It would have been a first down for the Phantoms.
So 3rd down and 8 at the 25-yard line here for the Phantoms. They're in field goal territory here for Anderson, but they need to get a touchdown here to win this game, guys. 3rd down here, they still have 1 timeout left. Anderson drops back to throw. There's a pass to the near side. Caught by Featherston out of bounds at the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 Phoebus. With 36 seconds left in the contest.
I told you not to go anywhere, folks. Watch this play as Phoebus is beginning to go to the air. Anderson hitting Featherston on the side. Good catch. Pulls it in and picks up the yardage. Gets out. The clock stops.
He went out of bounds too, so the clock doesn't start until they play. They still have a first down in the I formation. Belfield is in there now, and there's Belfield on the handoff. He goes to the right side. He's going to pick up a couple yards, and down he goes inside the 10.
Line it up quickly, guys. Gotta line
Timeout
up
is
quickly.
being called by the Phoebus Phantoms, so that's their last timeout of the game as it's down to 26 seconds.
I think I would have saved that one for the field goal team to get on there. Give them plenty of time.
Well, he needs to make sure that he has a couple of plays called here so that if they're not successful at getting this, they can at least get up close enough to down it and
There's
have the shot.
Belfield on that run.
Bob, what you got down there?
Hey, fellas, they got to go to the end zone. They're out 9-yard line. If you don't have any more timeouts, then you got to pass the ball. You got to make sure it's either caught in the end zone or it's incomplete. That'll stop the clock. You got 2 more downs to go. Well, actually 3 more downs. So you could kick the ball, and on 4th down, Eric can kick the field goal. I'm not worried about that, but I want to see the touchdown.
Yeah, they're also on the on the near side hash mark too, so they've got that strong angle that the field goal kicker would have to kick to. So it's 2nd down, ball sitting at the 9-yard line. It's 2nd down and about 8 to go here.
170 yards on 36 carries for Pittman. Anderson 9 for 17, 154 passing yards. It's going to be a play action pass. He's wide open.
Featherston in the end zone by himself, nobody around him.
I thought that was
Anderson
Givers.
hits him.
It's Givers with number 10. It was Givers.
Was it Givers?
It was
I thought
Givers.
it was
I'm looking for flags.
That was
No
Givers.
flags. There's a
That
flag.
was
Celebration
Givers.
in the end zone.
Wide open. They used everybody else as a decoy, and they went to the tight end Givers. Wide open. Nobody was looking at him.
Let's watch this again, guys.
Oh, wow.
And there's going to be a penalty against the Phantoms for celebrating in the end zone.
Here comes our famous replays. Anderson goes back, and wide open in the middle of the field and in the end zone. Look, nobody near him is Givers. And like Bob said, they had so many other people in there as decoys. They were all covered, and Givers just slipped right in there, and boom, Anderson hits him. Phoebus on top, 20-17, with 22 seconds left in this game. Oh, man, I feel good.
I feel a whole lot better than I did about 10 seconds ago.
I feel good. Oh, my gosh.
It looks like they're going to kick the extra point from here and then mark the penalty against the Phantoms at the kickoff. That means they'll be kicking off from their own 25.
Ooh. That drive took 15 plays, covered 79 yards, 4 minutes and 53 seconds, and ended with the touchdown pass to Miles Givers.
Hey, we got to pick our player of the games too, guys.
Well, I got a couple. But
it is blocked. Well,
yeah, that don't blame the kicker on that one. That was just a combination of a lot of things going bad there.
Well, 22 seconds left, and the Phantoms will be kicking off from their own 25 after the penalty.
Good recovery. The snap was a little to the backside of the holder. He did a good job in getting it down, but that's going to throw you off. There's Steve.
Go ahead, Bob.
You got to look at Deloach as one of your main men for your player of the game. Just consideration, because I know Tony has done a lot. He got the ball the game last week, but Deloach came through when he needed to, and it was a good decoy when they needed him to be a decoy.
And that was my first name down here, Bob, and my second name was the young man that threw it to him, because he's had to throw a lot in this game. Yes, he's missed some passes, but when it comes to the real important ones, he hooked up with Deloach and got him there. So either one of those two guys would be a fine pick with me, but I like them both. And
we got two to pick, don't we?
I like the excitement that
I think
Deloach
we got
has
two
given
picks,
the team,
fellas. You
and
might
I
want
like
to do
the
one
way he's
offensive
trying
defense.
to get up the crowd. Good. Well, Bob, you'll be happy to know I've been told that I can give 2 T-shirts. So the players of the game, ladies and gentlemen, Ramon Deloach and Eric Anderson.
All right, we got 22 seconds to go here, fellas. And Anderson will kick it off from his own 25-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Phantoms have a 3-point lead with 22 seconds to go, and let's see where he goes with it. Oh, he slips and falls.
He
should be down right there, and he's not. They're not. Why is he not down there?
He was on his knees when he got the ball.
That's all right. They ran off about 7 seconds of the clock, too. Well, let's see. Was his knee down? Let's see if his knee was down. Of course he's down.
He was down.
So first and 10. First and 10 with 14 seconds to go with North Stafford. The ball sits at the 48-yard line. They are 52 yards away from winning this game, but they need to get a field goal in order to tie it up. They have one timeout left, and this is what we fully expected this. This is the way this game's gone the whole game. That's what I was whistling about earlier, Scotty.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, it's all up to the Phoebus defense and the Stafford offense now.
Here we go. First and 10 at the 48-yard line. 14 seconds to go. Back to pass. Down the left sideline. He went through the defensive player to make the catch, and he caught it inside the 30-yard line. Again, North Stafford has a timeout. The clock stops with 7 seconds left.
Was that Shagog that caught that ball, the wide receiver, number 14? It had
Could not tell.
He's the one that's been making
They caught
the big
it through
plays.
the defensive player.
Yep, that was number 14, Shagog.
And they have down the ball as 3 seconds left on the clock, and they call timeout.
Did they call timeout, or did he throw it down?
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry, he did.
Yeah. Looked like we're going to have a field goal attempt here. This is going to be a 35, 36, 46-yard field goal attempt. And as one of our guys in the truck says, and into the sun. Yep, this is the quarterback, Austin Grebe. He has a scholarship to college for his kicking ability. It's going to be a 45-yard attempt, Mike. Take it from here. This is part of the game.
5 seconds, last play of the game, the attempt to try to tie it up. Snap is good, the kick is good, it's long enough, and it is short! It hit the crossbar, incomplete.
There's a flag.
There's a flag on the play.
And it's on the wrong side of the field for us, for Phoebus, excuse me.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker against the Phantoms.
Well, that's
the flag was laying inside the 30-yard line. The kick took place at the 35.
You guys need to check.
Here comes the replay right now.
Player, was the kicker roughed on that play?
That's where we're waiting on. So far, we haven't seen the kicker kick yet. Hang tight. We do not have a camera on that one, so we're not going to be able to see the actual play. But they're going to mark the ball 15 yards in and give North Stafford another shot at kicking a field goal. But this is going to be a chip shot here.
Field goal. They might even think about trying to go into the end zone.
This will be a 30-yard field goal now as the ball will be placed, 31 yards. It'll be placed at the 21-yard line, well in his range.
Well,
so Grebe will kick a 31-yard field goal attempt now to try to tie it, as there's no time left on the clock after the flag. Kick is up, and it's definitely long enough. Is it good? It is good. So North Stafford has come back and tied the game at 20-20, and this game will go into overtime.
Well, well, well.
Well, the game, folks, will now go into overtime, and each team will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line, and they will have 4 downs to score.
Oh.
So a toss of the coin will come to see who will take the ball first and who will go on defense. And we've seen one of these this year already. But this is not one of the games we should have. And yeah, I tell you what, in all honesty, this has been a heck of a game. It really has.
It certainly has been a heck of a game on all 3 sides.
Well, the overtime rules are simple. Each team will have 4 downs to score from the 10-yard line. They'll have a coin flip at the 50-yard line with the 2 captains. The winner of the coin flip will have his choice of either going on offense first or playing defense. And let's see. We may have a view of roughing the kicker here. Let's see if we can see it here.
Yeah, I don't think it should have been a 15-yard penalty, but yeah, he hit him, but incidental. It wasn't like he was trying to. He was sliding along the ground when the kicker came through.
We've had some calls in this game that have kind of dumbfounded us a little bit, but hey, we're not the ones being paid to make the calls, I guess. So we will wait now as the officials will bring the captains out on the field. Eric Anderson and Justin Lyles will be the captains for the Phantoms as they go out on the field. Reeby and Daniels are the 2 main captains out there for.
Hey, fellas, it was probably roughing the holder and not the kicker, but that's what you show, roughing the kicker, but I believe that's what happened.
Ho, ho, ho.
I don't know. The replay did not the replay, nobody touched the holder. The contact was made with the kicker about 3 yards ahead of where he kicked it.
Well, the guy who made contact with the kicker was on the ground. He had
sliding backwards.
Had dove and was sliding along the ground well in front of the holder.
And the kicker spun off of him and ran off the field.
He came across and then hit the guy sliding along the ground, and the kicker hit each other. I could see incidental contact there. Is it something you call? Well, the fact of it was the flag was thrown in the backfield of the Phoebus defense, not where the kicker and the holder were. So it depends on who saw what and what they saw. From our view, we got a different angle of it. From their
Phoebus
view,
Phantoms will have the ball
angle.
first on offense, and the play will be done down here on the west end zone to our left, and the Phantoms will have first and goal from the 10-yard line. They have 4 downs to score a touchdown or a field goal, at which time the ball will be turned over back first and goal for North Stafford, who will have their shot at scoring a touchdown.
Well, folks, like Mike said earlier, you couldn't ask for anything better. It is the state semifinals. We're going into overtime with the score tied at 20-20. You have 2 teams that have played a tough season to get where they are today. They're both very good ball clubs. I've been very impressed by the Stafford defense, who in the second half just have played a wondrous, tremendous game against the Phoebus Phantoms, basically shutting them down for the most part. The Phoebus Phantoms, who just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, not losing any fortitude at all, playing with heart, knowing that they are champions. And now
here we go. 1st and 10, our 1st and goal. To the near side is Deloach. As he trots over to the far side now as he switches side. In the I formation, Pittman is the tailback. Pass is intended for number 7, Justin Lyles, and it was overthrown. And coming on the field late, by the way, was Featherston, and nobody had him out here defensively, and that was an unusual play.
It was. Reminded me of the Roger Staubach play with Navy.
That was a touchdown, too.
Was he throwing to him or Deloach?
Huh?
Was he throwing to him or Deloach?
Oh, he was throwing to Lyles. That was way. That would have been. That was probably 10 yards. And there's another flag thrown in the backfield here, or in the defensive backfield. Both side judges on either side of the field threw a flag. So I wonder, do they have too many players on the field?
Whatever it is, they're in deep, deep discussion. I guess they want to make sure they get this one right. Going to be an interesting call, whatever it is.
Illegal substitution against North Stafford, so that's going to move it 5 yards closer to the line of scrimmage. That'll put it down, second down and goal now from the 5.
I didn't see that one either. But evidently I haven't seen a whole lot today. Oh, well. Again, they have a better view of things down there than we do.
Pittman off the left side. Touchdown, Phantoms. As they score first here in overtime with a 5-yard run by Tony Pittman, as the Phantoms now lead 26-20 with the extra point attempt coming.
Here's the handoff again. It's that straight handoff, 5 yards into the end zone. Tony Pittman just puts his shoulders down and boom, there he goes. Normally you would say in an overtime game, you have to give the advantage to Phoebus from 10 yards out. You just give it to Tony Pittman 4 times. In for the score. Ba-boom.
Extra point attempt, very critical right here. Let's see what happens. Kick is down, up, and through the upright. So the Phantoms scored a touchdown, converted the extra point, and they will now turn the ball over to North Stafford, as they will have it first and goal for their turn here in the first overtime period.
Now, Pittman gets the touchdown on the 5-yard run. Dylan Krimp comes in to kick the extra point. Pittman now with 175 yards on 37 carries. He has 3 touchdowns. He has been a horse in the last 3 games. And by the way, just a comment here on Dylan Krimp's point after touchdown. His dad, Jeff, can relax now. He always gets nervous when his son is kicking those extra points.
All right, let's see. Can North Stafford, the Wolverines, come back again here and tie this game and send it to a second overtime, or will the Phantoms defense come up big here? First down and goal, as the Stafford Wolverines will have it now. There's a quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's going to pick up about 4 as he's down near the 6 yards. That's a play we haven't seen today.
That's something we haven't seen a lot of at all. And
Greeby picks up 4 down near the 6-yard line.
And Greeby has 264 yards rushing this year, but you have to look at this. He's got 7 touchdowns. Other than Kevin Daniels, 15. He's second on the team in rushing touchdowns, so you got to watch out for him when you get down this close. Greaby's 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's a senior. He can bring it in there.
Greeby back to pass to the near side. It's good. It's touchdown. And an extra point away from tying it up here.
The principal of Phoebus High School, Robert Johnson, right there on the sidelines. I know he is nervous right about now.
Bradley catches the the touchdown, and now Greeby will attempt the extra point here to tie it up. And it looks like the Phoebus Phantoms will call timeout here as they lead 27-26.
I've been impressed so far with the receivers for Stafford the entire game. Ravenel's done a good job. That number 14, Shagog, has done I can't believe him. That kid is good. And then the tight end, Gary Nelson, he's come up big time at 6'2", 210.
Here.
All right, Bob, what do you got?
Hey, I got Mr. Austin here who ran a little foot of football for the Phantoms. What do you think?
Man, it's a close game, man. We got to pull this one off. Got to pull this one off. Road to the 4-peat, baby. 4-peat.
This guy's playing up in West Virginia and doing a great job. Tell me a little bit about the experience up there.
I mean, it's been going real good. I wasn't playing too much my freshman, sophomore year, but I'm getting a lot of playing time now. We play the winner of the Virginia Tech and Clemson game in the Orange Bowl on January 4th, so just waiting to see who win that game. I hope Taj wins so I can see him in the Orange Bowl, baby. The Phantoms about to get this win right here. I'm telling you, watch.
Good, thanks. All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you. Sean Alston, a guy I used to love talking about when he played here at Phoebus. Just one of the smartest running backs I've ever seen.
They're setting up to go for the win here, guys.
Whoa, they're going for two. Ball game right here, folks.
Quarterback keeper.
Yes, he did.
He did not get it. The Phoebus Phantoms have won the game.
They're saying yes.
As they're saying that Greeby was down at the 1-yard line. So the final score is the Phoebus Phantoms 27 and the North Stafford Wolverines 26. And I tell you
Here's
what,
the
guys.
replay, Mike. Look at the replay. Let's see what happens because the refs are taking off the field. From this shot here, you can't tell. You just can't tell. But all the coaches for Stafford are out there, and they're following the referees as they go to the locker room. And, Mike, it appears that Phoebus is the winner, 27-26, but Stafford is not happy.
Well, unfortunately, the particular view that we saw there, we could not really tell. Bob, could you tell much from down there where you were?
I could not tell, but there's too many bodies there, but the people that were standing there evidently could see. I'm going to try to get a couple of ball players once they get done shaking hands.
Let's see. We ought to be able to see it right here. Let's see.
Here's another angle. Here's the keeper. Greeby is up. His knee was down before the ball went over the goal line. His knee was down before the ball went near the goal line. The refs got it correct.
So the final score here in the Division 5 state semifinal game, and an outstanding played game, was the Phoebus Phantoms. They will advance and play next Saturday afternoon at Scott Stadium at the University of Virginia for the state Division 5 state championship. Again, the final score here was the Phoebus Phantoms 27, the North Stafford Wolverines 26.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Paul, what a game. What a game.
Oh, man, you've been watching this on LSC, Cox Channel 48, Verizon 5's Channel 23. For those of you that missed it, Ramon DeLoach and Eric Anderson, the players of the game. Mike, this has been a great season. All we can do from this point out is congratulate Phoebus for what they've done to where they are and to what they're about to accomplish again, and we wish them all the best when they get to Charlottesville.
I tell you what, you got to give Stafford a lot of credit.
Hey, Mike, let me interrupt you. I got Anderson here. Eric, you threw the ball pretty good today.
Yeah, we had a good day passing. We threw it in critical times when we really had to. I mean, North Stafford, as you saw, they took us down to the wire. They're one heck of a team. They deserve all the credit in the world. They went for the win. They fell up a little short, but good effort by them.
Well, I tell you, you guys did a great job out there. But they brought 7, 8 guys up on that box. Really made it hard to run.
Yeah, they really stacked the box. That was what their game plan probably was, coming in, stop the run. So that gave us a better chance of having passes on the outside. So we just had to execute. I mean, I know I missed a lot of passes that I should have made. The reads were there, but just got to get better for next week. Luckily, we have one more week of the season.
There you go.
Hey, Bob.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob, tell him he was 10 of 19, 164 yards.
Well, too late. I'll go get somebody else if I can.
He's gone.
10 of 19, 164 yards, a touchdown. He was only sacked one time in the game. And Tony Pittman, I tell you what a workhorse he was. 37 carries again, 180-yard rush.
All right, guys, I got Coach Stan Sexton here. Stan, congratulations. What a heck of a game.
Tell him
Yeah, I tell you what, we left 14 points on the board. I was not happy about that. We got to get better. We can't go in next week playing like this. I am happy how we stopped. I mean, the boys made we made good adjustments at halftime. We got stops when we needed to. Again, but we got to play a lot better.
Well, I tell you, I was impressed with you because they put 7, 8 guys in that box up there to stop the run.
Oh, it's tough to run in there, and Ramon and the receivers really stepped up on those 4th down plays. I'm very happy that we got the win, but I'm not happy the way we play. We got to get better, and if we're not going to get better, it'll be a long week next Saturday in Charlottesville. So.
Well, congratulations anyway, and get ready for next week.
I got a question.
We'll do our best. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all you've done.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, go back up to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. I was trying to get a question in there for Coach. I wanted to find out who is the one that called those critical 4th down plays, passes earlier in the game that really kept things going and put them in position to score. There it is, Phoebus High School Phantom Pride won't be denied. We've seen that for the last couple of games. Stafford, give them all the props you can, ladies and gentlemen. That team really, really played a game. They have been, in my humble opinion, one of the best games against Phoebus that I have seen in recent years. They ran the ball on them. They passed the ball on them. And they played some of the best defense I have seen in a long time. And I tell you what, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Gary Nelson at tight end. I'm really impressed with Ravenel. But the man that really, really got me was Shagog, number 14, the wide receiver. I like his hands. I like his moves. What a wonderful play.
Here's that play, the final play where they were going for the win instead of the tie.
And if you look closely, ladies and gentlemen, the knee goes down right there. Doesn't matter where the ball is. When that knee goes down, the runner is down. He can lay there and shove the ball out, put it over the end zone, whatever he wants, but that ball is dead right as soon as the knee hits. And the referees got that one right. Mike, it's been a pleasure
to get
up here
one
with
of
you.
them right after all they did today. I'm telling you, that was one of those. We talked early. What was it? The 3 blind mice deal?
No, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you what, I enjoyed today.
Yeah.
This pretty much ends our coverage for Peninsula District football for the year, as next week the state championship game will be played in Charlottesville. And again, the final score was the Phoebus Phantoms 27, North Stafford Wolverines 26. Along with Paul Rowe, Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove, Frank Edgar, and Bob Hintz with the interviews down on the field. So long, everybody. Again, the final score is the Phoebus Phantoms 27 and the North Stafford Wolverines 26. On to state finals.
From Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia, this has been the state semifinals. Good night.
Today's game was sponsored by the Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queensway in Hampton. Enjoy the wide selection of breakfast and lunch dishes, sure to please your appetite. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook, the restaurant that's also a bakery. Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads, between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. Who will represent you? Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after the game. Call 723-6850 today to place your order. Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Today's game was sponsored in part by attorneys at Kaufman and Knowles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center and in Newport News at City Center. Kaufman and Knowles. We can and we will. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armistead Avenue. The funeral director is Vernon Kruger. Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out. Eric Thompson Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3172 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com.